Monster Mash Smiley Cookies. Only $6.99.
I'm bored.
Why don't we play a game?
Please stand right there.
Monday at 7 on 22 The Point.
The journey begins with one small step. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, whether you win or lose. What matters is that you have a common goal. And to reach that goal, it takes a band of brothers acting as one. Every week, we come together to witness these gladiators of the gridiron pour their heart and soul onto the field. It's the C. Harper Auto Group Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy.
Final week of our regular season coverage. Tonight we're at Newman Stadium for the North Allegheny Tigers and the Pine Richland Rams, where the 6A Quad County Conference title is on the line. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jeff Arnold, joined alongside by Dan Watson. These are the two teams that you would expect to be at the very top of the conference at the end of the regular season. And tonight, this battle will decide the conference.
Yeah, two great programs, two great coaches. You start with Pine Richland and Eric Kasperovich. He's been spoiled. He's had all-world quarterbacks. Well, Phil Dracovich's off to Notre Dame. But Eric Kasperovich, he's a smart guy. You go with your strengths. They have 3 Division I caliber offensive linemen. The guy who's been sort of the beneficiary of that, the running back, Luke Meckler, he's been outstanding. And Coach said this week, haven't really had to take that car out of the garage very much this year. I think we'll see him doing some big things here tonight. At least they'll try it and try and ride him as far as he'll go.
He did some big things the last time we saw Pine Richland play against Central Catholic. Had 4 touchdowns and over 240 yards in the first quarter. So Art Walker Jr., the head coach of North Allegheny, will have to have a good plan for him. He's approaching 200 wins for his career, but he also has a very good running back in Ben Mayenza.
He's got a great defense as well. They'll try and control the clock with that running game with the offensive line. You kind of know what you're going to get out of North Allegheny year to year. Ben Mayenza's that guy this year. He's had a tremendous year. And another guy who hasn't really gone 4 quarters, hasn't been needed because they've been up by so much. I think, again, tonight we'll see them lean heavily on their running back, Ben Mayenza.
This could be a preview of the WPIAL 6A championship game. North Allegheny and Pine Richland. And it's coming up next on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 The Point.
I call him Dad.
And I call him when I want a car.
C. Harper. Get a 2019 Chevy Equinox for only $99 a month.
Just that easy.
Live, love, get soft.
Bridgeville Appliance and Dormont Appliance are proud to carry Speed Queen washers and dryers. Speed Queen products can last up to 25 years. For over a century, Speed Queen has been providing reliable American-made washers and dryers that last and last. With interest-free financing and expert installation, Bridgeville and Dormont Appliance make buying Speed Queen products easy and affordable. Ask about Speed Queen washers and dryers at your local appliance experts. Bridgeville Appliance and Dormont Appliance.
We have more trucks than anyone else.
At C. Harper.
That's right. Get a 2018 Chevy Silverado for only $249 a month.
The best price every time, all the time.
It's just that easy.
The NFL on Fox. Packers. We built for this. Rams. Let's go.
Sunday at 4 on Fox 53. This program is brought to you locally by Giant Eagle.
I'm bored. I want to be entertained.
Why don't we play a game? Follow me. Please close your eyes. I'm going to be an awesome mom.
Monday at 7 on 22 The Point.
Coin toss about to take place at Newman Stadium on a rainy evening for football, but a rainy evening where a 6A Quad County Conference title will be decided tonight. Pine Richland comes in at 8-1, North Allegheny at 9-0. And for a little bit more about tonight's matchup, let's go down to the third member of our crew, Jordan Canigliere.
Jeff and Dan, these two have been on a collision course just to get to this conference title game tonight. Of course, when you realize the playoffs start next week, you might look ahead and consider they'll likely meet again for the WPO final. Just don't say that too loudly on these two sidelines. The here and now is all that matters to these two teams. Pine Richland head coach Eric Kasperovich told us it's goofy to think they'd play tonight any differently knowing they'd meet again. He said this is a rivalry game with the #1 seed on the line. They're here to win. North Allegheny head coach Art Walker said it takes so long to get to this game undefeated. Tonight's all that matters. We're ready for kickoff. Back up to you.
That's what all that hard work is for once you get to the winter time. Keys to the game tonight. Dan, how do you see it?
Well, Pine Richland has to be as good as they've been all year in the trenches, and they have been. They've been exactly as good as they were on the running game. And passing-wise, have to have balance. This is too good of a defense to just think you're going to go out there and blow them off the ball. You have to be able to do both. And for the Tigers, this is a Pine Richland team where if you don't contain Luke Meckler, he can burn you in a big hurry. You have to stay in your lanes, keep your contained. And then special teams, they've got a guy. He might be one of the keys to this game. Precise Cologne has returned to kickoff for a touchdown this year. If you can get a big play. They've also blocked 6 kicks for North Allegheny. Keep an eye on them. They have been terrific in the special teams.
Another thing you have to focus on tonight, takeaways. North Allegheny 24 on the year. Pine Richland has got 18. North Allegheny wins the toss tonight, and they will receive to open things up on a rainy night from Newman Stadium. Pine Richland's only loss coming to IMG Academy, one of the top teams in the country during week 0, while North Allegheny 9-0 this season. They're coming off a win last week. As we get ready to kick things off tonight. Tonight's kickoff powered by IGS Energy. Just go to IGSenergy.com for info on controlling your energy budget. So it'll be teed up tonight by Zach Waranka, who handled the kicking duties last week for Pine Richland. And away we go tonight from Newman Stadium. This is Precise Cologne. Cologne will make it just past the 20-yard line and will be stopped at the 22-yard line as the Tigers offense comes out onto the field. A group that is led by Ben Petschke, junior quarterback, who last week didn't see a lot of playing time. And in general, North Allegheny's starters didn't receive a whole lot of playing time. They were playing a non-conference game against West Allegheny, trying to make sure and keep everybody healthy. And West Allegheny actually has conference implications on the line in their game tonight. So trying to get the starters a week ago, just enough time to make sure they're ready to go in this game this evening. First down, handoff, Precise Cologne. Bounces it to the outside, and Cologne is upended near the first down sticks. This will go down as a gain of about 8 on the play. North Allegheny offense, take a look at it. Jacob Lugg, an excellent tackle. His brother Josh is currently playing at Notre Dame. Ben Mayenza, somebody that we highlighted in the open. He's one of the top rushers in the entire WPIAL. Second down and 3 to go. Handoff to Sam Gielach, his senior running back. Gielach pushes forward for a gain of 1 or 2. It'll bring up a third down and short. Pine Richland, a very good defensive unit. Their front seven is among the very best in the state. Merrick Miller, first year starting at a boundary linebacker spot, has been all over the field, while Eric Kasperovich also pleased with the play he's getting from his quarterbacks, Dylan Stenson and Connor Hetzel.
Here you go on third down. This is, again, a run-based offense for North Allegheny, but they always run some kind of motion to keep you on your toes, because the time you don't think something's coming, there you go. He keeps it and right up the middle for a first down.
Ben Petchke up to the 35-yard line. So Petchke is able to move the chains after his mark for no gain on the previous play.
You think of a run-based offense and you think, pretty, vanilla and meat and potatoes. Well, it's anything but. There's guys in motion. There's play action. There's misdirection. North Allegheny. And then, just when you think you've got them nailed down, there's some kind of crazy play that they dig down into the play call sheet, and it's a pass from a wide receiver running back going over your head, and they're celebrating 6 points.
You have to find ways to keep Pine Richland's defense on their toes. W&J College first down. Past the 45. Some room to roam for Mayenza. Mayenza pushed out of bounds. They're marking him out of bounds at around the 5-yard line. North Allegheny thinks it's a touchdown, but the official did stop play before he reached the end zone.
Watch this. Everybody goes to the quarterback. There's nobody there for Ben Mayenza. He's one of the best running backs in 6A, and he gets the edge down the sideline and a lot of ways to go. Nice play to get him out of bounds and live to play another play, but North Allegheny with a big gain on the ground. Pine Richland not used to that at all. This has been an excellent defense. They're averaging just under 14 points allowed per game for the Rams.
They set up inside the Beano's red zone, and a timeout has been called. North Allegheny takes the timeout just inside of 10 minutes in the first quarter after the big 60-yard run by Mayenza. First down and goal for the Tigers coming up on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the point.
We have more trucks than anyone else.
At C. Harper.
That's right. Get a 2018 Chevy Silverado for only $249 a month.
The best price every time, all the time.
It's just that easy.
What does full service mean? It means we handle residential, commercial, property management, and a host of other real estate services. We're here in your region, your city, your town, and your neighborhood to serve you every step of the way. RE/MAX Select Realty. Call us today or visit us online at selecthomefinder.com. Find your home and find the real estate company that can do it all. RE/MAX Select Realty. Simply better.
I call Papa.
I call him Dad.
And I call him when I want a car.
C. Harper. Get a 2019 Chevy Equinox for only $99 a month.
Just that easy.
Later on tonight, we'll have the RE/MAX Select Realty Player of the Game. Should have plenty of options. Top two teams in the Quad County Conference. RE/MAX Select Realty, simply better. First down and goal for North Allegheny coming up after a 60-yard run by Ben Mayenza. I'll also tell you the first quarter tonight brought to you by the C. Harper Auto Group. Best price every time, all the time. Find us at charper.com. And a little misdirection working for North Allegheny on their last play.
And you think back to what Coach Kasperovich said this week. One of his main concerns was, can we get lined up correctly? Are we going to leave some creases there? It looked like they were a little out of sorts. He wanted a timeout. Make sure you get this right on this goal line set defensively.
First down and goal from the 5. Mayenza. And Mayenza is stopped around the 2-yard line. Ben Mayenza, brother Ethan, was NA's do-it-all quarterback 2 years ago. And after he goes 60 yards, they give it back to him, and he picks up 3 more.
They have got some big guys on the offensive line for North Allegheny. Same can be said for Pine Richland, but Quinn Rodak, we saw 54 on that play, pulling around from the right guard spot, 6'2", 260. They are trying to load it up and just blow him off the ball.
Gilash is in front. Mayenza is hauled down. Connor Hetzel, starting quarterback, came in to make the play. His 30th tackle of the year. Also has a couple of tackles for loss.
Hetzel was there on the previous play as well, and just a good job shedding blocks here. And sometimes you'll see defensive linemen try and take on those blocks and free up their linebackers. But down here on the red zone near the goal line, you want to try and swim those linemen, those offensive linemen, get to the ball as quickly as possible. Nice adjustment by Pine Richland.
Tigers attempting to cash in on their opening drive after no gain on 2nd and goal. 3rd down and goal from the 3. Play fake to Mayenza. The rollout by Petschke. Knocked away. Dylan Stenson was the one that made the play as he was trying the out pattern in the front corner of the end zone.
They've been happy with the way Stenson has played. Looked like he just got in the hip pocket and ran with them into the flat. They were looking for Amasis Porter, and a nice play by Stenson just to turn and run with the play action.
And on 4th down and goal, field goal attempt coming up for North Allegheny. 20-yard attempt. Isaac West will attempt it, and it's no good. So after all that, the big run by Mayenza puts the Tigers down to the 5-yard line, and they get nothing out of it. A huge hold by Pine Richland out of the gate. Rams take over on offense when we come back on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the Point.
Bacon, egg, cheese. Only one way to make this better. Another one. Dunkin' Go-Tos. Get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5. America runs on Dunkin'.
Your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers have a utility vehicle just for you. Starting with the wildly popular CR-V, a perfect people mover. Or a perennial favorite, the versatile Honda Pilot. Right now at your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers, you'll find offers that get you moving in a 2018 CR-V. Or have you making plans to hit the road in a new 2018 Pilot. Your Honda is waiting for you at your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers.
Next time on the Goldbergs.
Out.
She's making eyes at you. Do it back. That was great.
Monday at 6 on 22 The Point.
3rd down coming up for Pine Richland. 3rd down and 8 to be exact. Jeff Arnold, Dan Watson, Jordan Canigliaro with you. Pine Richland just forced a field goal underneath. A flag comes in as the catch made by Luke Miller. I'll have to check the marker as it did have 1st down yardage. Bill Heidkamp, our referee tonight.
Trying to get Cole Spencer into some rhythm. Just a sophomore. I mean, think about this guy. He was their freshman team quarterback last year. He comes in as the starter in 2018. Who's his first start against? IMG Academy. Are you kidding me?
Holding by the defense. 10-yard penalty added to the run. 1st down.
So a 1st down, and then they'll tack on 10 more after the end of the run. And places Phil Jerkovic, but Spencer has done things his way. Definitely a different style quarterback than Jerkovic was.
Yeah, he's a physical runner, and I think people forget how good of a runner Jerkovic was last year, especially at the end when they kind of let him off the leash. He ran for 100 yards or more in every playoff game except the state title game, and he also ran for a touchdown in all those games. So he was a dual threat guy. Cole Spencer, I think, is a little more physical. This guy's a wrestler. He was a PIAA qualifier last year as a freshman. He can do a little bit of everything, and, you know, he's a wrestler. He's tough.
Schweiger tries the near side, and not much is there, as Schweiger is knocked down after a pickup of 1 on the play. Schweiger, sophomore running back, had a nice game the last time that we saw Pine Richland against Central Catholic.
Joey Porter Jr. coming in and run coverage off that corner. He's a rangy cornerback going to Penn State. I like what you see out of him.
And Spencer keeps it here. You like this run by Spencer, who tucks it and runs for the 1st down as he brings it out to the 44-yard line of NA.
Pine Richland they like to run as many plays as they can, and they'll change things up. They'll change speeds offensively, but they're up tempo right now.
Luke Meckler drives forward out to the 40-yard line. He was incredible in the Central Catholic game we had earlier on this season. He had 4 touchdowns and 245 yards, all in the first quarter. While entering the game, he had only 177 yards and 4 touchdowns for the year. Meckler again. And Meckler knocked down at the line of scrimmage this time.
Well, Luke Meckler's another guy that they sort of let off the leash after 4 weeks of sort of being, they used him, they got ahead, they kind of took him out, they made sure that he was going to be able to keep that pop at the end of the year. Well, now's the end of the year. It's time to let him off the leash. And like you said, last 4 games, he scored 9 touchdowns, starting with that game against Central Catholic.
3rd down and 6 for Pine Richland. Inside of North Allegheny territory. Play clock down to 1. And the Rams call a timeout. Well, they'll take the timeout with 5:43 to go in the first, of 3rd and 6. Coming up for Pine Richland on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 to 1.
That's right. And get a 2018 Chevy Cruze for only $79 a month at C. Harper. And join us in support of...
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. C. Harper cares.
That's what Papa.
Snap a SwitchMate over your existing light switches and see how smart your home can be. SwitchMate gets the lights for you so your home stays on schedule and makes sure the lights go out at the right time to match any mood. All you do is snap SwitchMate over your switch and never worry about the kids running late again. Start living smart with SwitchMate Slim, the only wire-free smart light switch.
We have more trucks than anyone else.
At C. Harper.
That's right. Get a 2018 Chevy Silverado for only $249 a month.
The best price every time, all the time.
It's just that easy.
Television's most unconventional family has come to Pittsburgh's most unconventional station. Blackish is on 22 The Point, weeknights at 7 and 10:30. Pine Richland with a 3rd down and 6 coming up. They had to take a timeout after the play clock ran all the way down to 1. They're trying to answer on their first drive of the game after North Allegheny took it inside the 10 on their first drive. And then a 20-yard field goal was missed by Isaac West. 3rd down and 6. Meckler, they fake the handoff to him. Cole Spencer keeps, and he moves the chains, taking it down to the 33-yard line. First down brought to you by W&J College. Be a president at washjeff.edu.
Well, they line up with power to the left, and then when North Allegheny jumps on that, Spencer pulls the ball, keeps it, good read, and a good first down.
W&J College first down, Luke Meckler. Meckler out to the 21-yard line. He's got another first down. Meckler a gain of 12.
And now Pine Richland's trying to hurry things up, get to the line, and go. Starting to see that offensive line. All seniors up front for the Rams.
Meckler. This time he is tackled and taken down by a Moses Porter, who is the nephew of Joey Porter Jr. Of Joey Porter Sr., I should say, and his cousin, Joey Porter Jr. Second down and medium. Play fake. Spencer to the end zone. And it's incomplete. Melzer provided the coverage for North Allegheny as it was thrown a little too far, intended for Day-Day Johnson.
Well, Pine Richland, you kind of think of them as the old St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf with their offense. They love to throw it all over the place generally, and that's, if you remember, since Eric Kasperovich has been the head coach there, his quarterbacks have been Ben DiNucci, who went to Pitt, now he's at James Madison, and Phil Dracovic, who's now at Notre Dame. Those guys are gone. So what do? You run the same offense, the same formations, but you look at the stats this year, these guys look like a kind of North Allegheny kind of attack. They like to run the ball, play great defense.
They barely get this off pitch to Meckler, and nothing doing. Meckler has scored it out at the 18-yard line before Dante Caputo made the play.
Well, you wonder if the weather plays a factor here because, it's rainy. It's not perfect as far as trying to get a long snap for a holder. I wonder if this will make you more likely to go for it on 4th down, whereas you're kind of in betweenville here as far as high school kickers go yardage-wise.
Mason Cruz was unavailable last week for Pine Richland. We saw Oranka kick off. 4th down now for the Rams. Miller across the line, low snap for Spencer. To the sideline and too high, intended for Meckler. And after Pine Richland got the stop on the field goal attempt, it's a turnover on downs, and we remain scoreless with 4:45 to go in the first.
Maybe an underrated aspect of Luke Meckler's game. He might be their most talented wide receiver as well. Tried to go up for the one-handed grab. He has made those this year successfully. I think he's a little frustrated he didn't bring that one in. But both teams get down close to the red zone, if not into the red zone, come up empty. We thought points might be at a little bit of a premium tonight, not because there aren't many to be scored, but because there's just not a real big margin for error when you're playing the caliber of opponent that you're playing tonight for both teams.
Another thing that'll hurt both offenses is the fact that it is raining right now. W&J College first down for North Allegheny. Kept by Petschke. And Petschke pushes out to the 21-yard line. Sometimes the best treasures are found off the beaten path. Butler County. Explore more at visitbutlercounty.com.
There you go. They bring Precise Cologne in motion, and that's a guy you always are trying to keep tabs on. Well, if you cheat a little bit too far up on him, you jump the man in motion. Quarterback can keep it. That's what Petschke does. Again, they just keep you on your toes all the time. You have got to stay assignment focused. If you get out of your assignment for 1 minute, they'll run up the sideline 60 yards on you like Mayenza did.
2nd down and 7. This time nothing doing for Petschke. Taking care of things in the backfield was Trent Miller, starting defensive end who had 3 tackles a week ago in the Rams' victory over Seneca Valley.
North Allegheny's not going what you call hurry up, but this is sort of the get to the line, get the call in from the sideline and go right to it, so you don't give the defense as much time to adjust.
3rd down. Throw off to Joey Porter Jr. and it's dropped. Not happy about that. They had the screen set up for him, but punting time now for North Allegheny with 3:25 left.
Well, and I'm guessing Joey Porter Jr. is saying, give me that another time, because he had blockers in front. Pine Richland was playing off coverage a little bit. You want to at least see what he could have done. He's a talented guy, 6'2", and 1/3 of his catches have gone to the house this year. 9 grabs, 3 have gone for touchdowns.
Headed to Penn State next season. Low kick for Meckler, and this rolls out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Pittsburgh's favorite retro family just got a new time. You can find the Goldbergs weeknights at 6 and 10, all on 22 The Point. So the offensive have stalled in this first quarter. This field goal attempt by N.A. Pine Richland is able to take it deep, but they can't convert on a 4th down. And North Allegheny just had to punt it away. So Pine Richland will take over. 60 yards to travel with 3:17 left to go in this first quarter. Last year, Pine Richland won both of these head-to-head matchups. 48-28 in the regular season finale, and then 49-25 in the WPIAL semis. Meckler has the handoff. And Meckler will be taken out of bounds after a pickup of around 4.
Well, that was an interesting wrinkle. They didn't get into the typical huddle. They get into a straight line, then they go to the line of scrimmage. And you see some big blocks outside. Their receiver, Shane Caffardi, trying to take care of Joey Porter Jr. They get 5 yards on first down. They're ahead of the chains.
There's a point that Art Walker was making to us as Spencer keeps and will be close to a first down. He's about 2 yards short. Is that Pine Richland, they may not run a ton of different plays, but they will give you a lot of different looks, which will definitely confuse you defensively.
Run, pass option almost all the time for these guys. They'll run some power at you every once in a while, but it's almost all players reading defenses. Count how many are in the box. That decides what you do. Your receivers kind of do what, they run their routes based on the coverage. Coach Kasperovich always trying to say you want to have the chalk last, so to speak, where your offensive players are the ones making the adjustments to the defense.
Luke Meckler looks to have just enough for the first down as he advances it out to the 49. Just was able to dive past an ankle tackle.
Yeah, if they didn't tackle him there, Ethan Augustin was the one who brought him down. He doesn't get him by the ankles. He probably had about 10 yards or more in front of him after that.
W&J College first down. Spencer the toss for Meckler, and Meckler slung down. Augustine makes the play, but a flag is down.
The second time they've tried to run that option to the short side. They did it on third down on the near the 20-yard line, and it didn't work out very well either. So it looks like North Allegheny's got the defense to stop that play. But what does Pine Richland have up its sleeve as the adjustment to throw that off?
Watch these two teams play. It is a chess match, and it's very exciting. Bill Heidkamp sorts things out.
He's trying to get Art Walker Jr. back over to the sideline. He is not happy with this call, wants an explanation.
Finally, one of the officials is kind of walking back to the sideline with Art Walker Jr.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness by the defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
Unnecessary roughness means 15 more yards added to the end of the run. And Pine Richland will now set up shop at the NA 35. W&J College first down. Meckler runs into two black shirts, and Liam Alker-Connolly, starting nose tackler, was the first one that was there.
Pine Richland last week played Seneca Valley, and they beat them 21-7, and I think Coach Kasperovich was very happy that that was the opponent, because he said Seneca Valley's physical, and that got him ready for this game tonight.
Luke Meckler has first down yardage into the Beano's red zone, out to the 17-yard line.
They had just 7 pass attempts last week, did Pine Richland. So they're ready to ground and pound tonight. That's what they've done. They've thrown it, twice, I believe, 3 times maybe so far tonight.
And what condition should mean a lot more of the running attack. Schweiger surges forward past the 15-yard line. Schweiger down to the 13. Second down coming up for Pine Richland. Seneca Valley could very well be a team that makes the Final Four of the WPIAL playoffs. And remember that regardless of what happens this game, these two teams will receive a first-round bye. Kept by Spencer, who was able to elude Amasis Porter and pick up a couple of yards.
But again, good run fits by North Allegheny here. They are in the lanes. They're able to take on not only the running back, who was that read option, but they get to the ball quickly. They are flying, a lot of hats to the ball. Done a nice job trying to stop the big run play. Now on third down, what do you do?
As you noted, not many throws so far. Spencer looks to the sidelines and now backs up into the gun with the play clock around 5. Meckler, he's close. Needed to reach the 7 to gain the first down. Sheets was the one that makes the tackle. And they're saying he's just a little bit short.
Well, it would not have been close, but Hayden Sheets, he was sort of allowing the running back to ride on him. But now you got 4th and short, field goal team. Nope, it's the offense out there. They're going to go very big in the backfield. Full house backfield with 10 seconds to go. North Allegheny wants to talk about it. I wonder if that's the first time anyone has seen that kind of look from Pine Richland.
Definitely want to keep some wrinkles in for this game. Scoreless with 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Turning on lights, taking showers, and doing laundry all put stress on your home's most important parts, and failures due to normal wear and tear can cost you. Head over to igsenergy.com for more information.
Well, I think we saw one of the assistant coaches talking to Miguel Jackson. He's been a tremendous defensive end for the Rams. He was in there as sort of an extra blocker in the backfield. That's sort of your refrigerator Perry play, where you put the big guy on the defensive side in that offensive backfield, let him be that battering ram. You wonder now, though, do you go back to that play or do you go with a different look? What do the Rams do here?
Let's see what Ryan Lehmeyer, the offensive coordinator for Pine Richland, wants to draw up.
Well, 56 is your guy, Miguel Jackson. He was that guy who was sort of the fullback that last look.
Coming up tomorrow, MEAC football. Howard at home against South Carolina State. Presented by Butler County Community College. Tomorrow's game. Learn more about attending the #1 community college in Pennsylvania. Back-to-back rankings by schools.com. Accessible, affordable, quality education. More at bc3.edu. 4th down and goal. Spencer reaches for it. He's just short. They mark him down at the 1, but a 1st down and goal for the Rams. 2 seconds to go. They'll wind the clock, and they won't get the snap off. Well, Spencer almost took it in. He was about a half yard shy of the end zone. And it will be a 1st down and goal for the Rams when we come back. Scoreless after 1 quarter tonight from Newman Stadium on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 The Point.
Hi, I'm Todd Titsworth, licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency here in Pittsburgh. Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare and confused by your options? You're not alone. Choosing the right coverage for your needs and budget can be difficult. Health Markets represents numerous carriers nationwide, so finding the plan that best fits your needs and budget could be an easy task. You can contact me by going online or giving me a call today. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and have a nice day.
Experience the performance of Toyota cars. Sporty styling, reliable tech, and leading safety features. Get to your Toyota dealer now during Toyota's big event. Are you in? Now, lease a Corolla for only $199 a month, or buy a Camry with $1,000 cash back or 0.9% APR financing for 60 months. Toyota's big event is on now. Toyota, let's go places.
You might think you're covered. Then again, your health insurance could be leaving something out. Make sure your plan covers full, affordable, in-network access to UPMC. Choose a health plan that covers the best.
In Miami, the cops are tough, and the nightlife is killer.
CSI Miami. Tonight on 22 The Point. This program is brought to you by C. Harper Auto Group. The best price every time, all the time.
The NFL on Fox. Packers. We built for this. Rams. Let's go.
Sunday at 4 on Fox 53. This program is brought to you locally in part by Xfinity.
No score after 1 quarter tonight from North Allegheny, the top 2 teams in the Quad County Conference. This matchup is for the conference crown. Cole Spencer just ran for a first down and goal, and now it is Pine Richland football from the 1. Full house backfield. Spencer plows his way in for the score. Touchdown, Spencer. Using those big blockers, and the Rams have the first TD tonight.
All seniors on the offensive line. They ran. Where do they go? What direction? They go right. They go behind all those 3 Division I caliber offensive linemen. Andrew Kristofic, he's going to Notre Dame. Michael Kadick, he's going to Indiana. Michael Durundo, we don't know yet, but he is going to be a Division I guy as well. And they bring in a defensive lineman off the sideline to have 3 blockers in the backfield. It's just line them up, run them over, and Pine Richland able to get just enough.
Gil Jackson was that extra blocker. Waranka kicks the extra point, 7-0 Pine Richland. And will now go down to the sidelines, and Jordan Canigliaro.
Yeah, with that Rams touchdown, we're here with a very happy principal, Pine Richland High School, Nancy Bowman.
Absolutely.
Thank you once again for being part of Friday Night Rivals.
Thank you. We, on behalf of the entire Pine Richland family, we're really excited to have a repeat opportunity this year. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we got your win over Central Catholic earlier. Now, this school year, students, teachers, staff, what are they looking forward to?
So we're really excited, as you can hear the band or maybe see the band behind me. We are so proud of our students. We have the best band, the best student section, and by far the best team in the Whitfield. We're just so proud of them. So academically, we've got some great kids that are National Merit semifinalists. And one of the things I want to highlight is a crosstown agreement for our ROTC program that we have with Mars High School. Every day, Mars kids come to Pine Richland and enjoy opportunities that we share with everybody. Very excited.
Nancy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nancy Bowman, principal, Pine Richland High School. Jeff and Dan, back to you.
Thank you.
Pine Richland, the defending PIAA champs, and the Rams march it down in the field. And one key thing that mattered in that drive was that personal foul penalty, which got them a little bit closer, and eventually Cole Spencer cashed it in.
That was going to be a 3rd and medium to 3rd and long, but then they had that personal foul. It was an unnecessary roughness, and Coach Walker let the officiating crew have it. But it goes for 15 yards. It's a new set of downs, and that sort of gave some new life to Pine Richland. And you can't give these guys extra opportunities. I mean, we talked about that. You miss a field goal for North Allegheny, and then Pine Richland on their first drive came close or into the red zone and couldn't cash in. Every opportunity in a game between teams this closely matched is going to seem like a big one at the time, and maybe it'll turn out to be that big of an opportunity, either converted or missed.
It's grabbed by Luke Kalala off the kickoff, and Kalala to the 33-yard line for North Allegheny. Tigers come in with a 9-0 record. There's Eric Kasperovich, who again is leading the defense this year for Pine Richland. 11 plays, 60 yards in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Scoring drive brought to you by your local Honda dealers.
Well, interesting background for Eric Kasperovich. He's sort of been a rival of North Allegheny his entire life. He goes to North Hills. He was a state championship quarterback for them under Jack McCurry, and we'll get to that story sooner than later, I think. But started as a freshman on those teams and then went to Pitt, played linebacker, so he's got some background on both sides of the ball. Just a good guy and somebody who learns and seems like he is a student of the game and a good teacher.
W&J College first down. And it's carried forward for NA by Nico Rankin. They're coming off the left. For Rankin was met by Chance Boyd, along with Tyler King, who is headed to Navy next season.
I think you can say a lot of the same things about Art Walker Jr. I mean, this is a guy who has, he's in his 14th year at NA. They've made the playoffs every year in one of the toughest conferences in the state at the biggest level.
Second down, throw over the middle, off the hands of Dinkins. Would have gone for a first down. That's the second drop we've seen from the Tigers tonight.
Art Walker Jr., 5-time Whitfield champ, 3-time state champion, the heyday back in the early 2010s. 10, 11, and 12, 3 straight Whitfield titles, and that's a play they like right there. Dinkins has been open on multiple occasions this year. They've been able to hit him, and they've been long catch and runs. We saw him get Hempfield with that on a couple of times. You just have got to make the play. But did the rain play a factor in that?
And you could very well make the argument it's played a factor a couple of times. NA 1 for 3 on third down so far to start tonight. And this pass is dropped. Second drop by Joey Porter Jr. as that rain continues to intensify. But regardless, NA has to punt again.
Gloves are coming off, and it's another frustrating play. Good pocket by the offensive line. He had a free look at the football, just couldn't bring it in.
2 good throws by Petchke, but both drops. And Meckler is back now for Pine Richland. West to punt. Pressure coming. And this will take a nice roll. And it goes out of bounds at the 14-yard line. So nice work on the kick by West. 7-0 Pine Richland, early second quarter with a 53-yard punt. See Harper, Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 The Point.
Live, love, get sauced.
What does full service mean? It means we handle residential, commercial, property management, and a host of other real estate services. We're here in your region, your city, your town, and your neighborhood to serve you every step of the way. RE/MAX Select Realty. Call us today or visit us online at selecthomefinder.com. Find your home and find the real estate company that can do it all. RE/MAX Select Realty. Simply better.
Stay tuned for the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau Friday Night Rivals halftime show. Jordan Canigliaro will have interviews with Seneca Valley High School and Butler County Tourism Bureau. We'll also let us know what's going on in sports on Fox 53 and 20 to the point. And the best of FNR from around the country. We'll also have highlights of tonight's game, that and much more on our Butler County Tourism halftime report. 53-yard punt by West just a moment ago. And Pine Richland has the football to start off this drive at the 15-yard line. Spencer, who scored a touchdown on the last drive, pitches to Meckler. Meckler tries to change his field. Good patience by Luke Meckler. A play that you thought was dead. Very least he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a little bit more.
Boy, that was a different look again from Pine Richland. You start your running back out in the flat. He comes in motion. I believe that's technically a pass. But to be able to set those blocks up and get anything out of that is a pretty impressive play.
Call it a gain of 1. Meckler, more room this time. Meckler eventually pushed out by Cade Hoke. Hoke, whose dad, Chris, spent 11 seasons as defensive lineman for the Steelers. Knocks him out of bounds, but a first down for PR.
Another time with Luke Meckler. This is a guy who's replacing a heck of a running back in Jordan Crawford. He's the guy who ran for 30 touchdowns a year ago.
There's a flag down on the play, so we'll check in with Bill Heitkamp.
Holding by the offense. 10-yard penalty. Spot of the foul. Second down.
So that hold negates the run by Meckler for the first down. And now Pine Richland is behind the chains.
I mean, think about the talent that graduated from Pine Richland last year. You had the state player of the year in Phil Jerkovic, who threw for almost 4,000 yards in a season. Jordan Crawford, 30 rushing touchdowns, and Jason DeFrancis over 1,000 yards receiving. They all graduated, and yet they're still at the top of the conference a year later.
Don't forget about guys like Ray Falcone either, who had a great career. Cole Spencer spins his way down to the 19-yard line. A lot of pieces lost by Pine Richland on an incredibly special team that went 16-0, won PIAA and field titles. But the expectations remain the same this year for this Pine Richland team. Tonight, conference title on the line.
Says a lot. They lose 24 seniors, but they have another class of 24 seniors this year.
3rd down and 6. Spencer, first down and plenty more. Cole Spencer to the 39-yard line. Spencer, a run of 20 yards.
Back-to-back design runs, and it looks now like Pine Richland's been able to sort of do what they want up front. And if that's the case, you might see a little bit more of this from Cole Spencer, because you're not going to turn down gains of 5 yards or so.
First down carry by Luke Meckler as Liam Alker-Connolly makes the tackle down to Jordan Caniglero.
Dan, Jeff, you watch Cole Spencer run. Super smart runner. One of the things Coach Kasperovich talked about, they wanted to keep him healthy. They've really worked hard on helping him slide and avoid contact. Last week, carried it 16 times. They estimated he took 2 hard hits. Pretty good. Something to watch as we continue. Back to you.
And that goes to something Eric Kasperovich taught us about, is the coaching element in teaching a young quarterback how to run effectively, how to duck and dodge, and in addition to teaching the fact that Spencer's a wrestler helps out with that too. 2nd down, Spencer absorbs a couple of hits this time. Tyler Mangon is the one that led the charge.
Well, the thing about a well-coached team is they make adjustments pretty quickly. That made it tough there. That was number 5 on the outside of Amasis Porter. He made it look, he flashed to the running back, and then as soon as he saw that Spencer kept it, Amasis Porter jumped right back inside and forced him into the arms of the teammate. Nice play.
3rd down and 8 for Pine Richland. Need to reach their own 49. Spencer. That throw is incomplete. Would have been good enough for the first down. Luke Miller didn't have much of a chance to make that throw. And see a couple of good throws from NA. They're dropped. And here Cole Spencer maybe struggling to control the pigskin.
Yeah, a little behind his receiver. And in fact, looked like almost Kate Hope was able to get a hand on it. So I think Luke Miller might be turning into that go-to guy as a wide receiver. He had a big game a few weeks ago. Tonight, they haven't quite been able to get things going in the pass game. It wouldn't surprise me if they need a completion. Luke Miller's the guy to look toward.
Joey Porter Jr. is deep for North Allegheny. Spencer punts, and it was touched and recovered by Pine Richland. They think that it was touched. The flag is down on the play. And it is recovered, the signal made that will keep it with Pine Richland.
Well, watch this. You've got somebody in no man's land. It sure looks like on the replay that ball touched Willie Rogers and spun away, and a heads-up play by Pine Richland. Well, what's the flag? We'll have to see.
Bill Heidkamp and his crew sorting it out, but for the time being, Pine Richland has got the football.
The rally on the field is a first down
off Rogers
for Pine Richland. There's a sideline warning, the first sideline warning against Pine Richland.
So it is a sideline warning against Pine Richland. Just an administrative deal here. And the Rams keep the football. Here's another look at it hitting Rogers.
Well, Joey Porter Jr. is probably, I'm assuming he's back there saying, poison, 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 get away from the football. But if you don't hear it, you don't expect that. You don't get away from the football in time, and another break goes against North Allegheny, and they have been sort of snake bitten tonight.
Connor Hetzel was the one who jumped on it. Conroy Foods has been making Beano's Original Submarine Dressing right here in Pittsburgh for 30 years. Find Beano's in your local grocer's deli department. So after Pine Richland recovered the punt, first down and 10. Luke Meckler up to the 21-yard line, a gain of around 4.
Once again, they're trying to stretch Amasis Porter. He's that linebacker they're trying to read on the outside. He's been jumping out on that running back. Well, this time Meckler goes right up the middle, gets a few yards. I think they're happy with that.
No surprise, we've seen a lot of running by Spencer and Meckler so far. And what a nice play. It was Luke Kalala who flew to the football and escorted Spencer out.
That's a heads-up play. Porter was faking he was going to take the running back, and then I think he finally had to commit. But a good job of flying to the ball, like you said, by his teammates. Got to stay in your assignment. Somebody's got the quarterback. Somebody's got the running back. Richland makes it tough, though.
3rd down and 6 after no gain. Spencer hauled down again, this time for a loss. Dante Caputo, the senior linebacker, makes the tackle.
Well, they've been running that read option over and over and over again, and finally they had the running back covered, and here comes Caputo, jumps right into that lane, makes a strong tackle.
Stuck in no man's land on 4th down. Spencer is back there. Remember, he punted the last time. 4 receivers set. Spencer will throw, and it's dropped. By my count, that is 4 drops that we had seen in this game between the two teams. It was intended to that reliable Luke Meckler. North Allegheny takes over on downs. And it will be Tigers football with 6:28 to go before halftime. 7-0 Rams on C. Harper. Friday Night Rivals powered by IGS Energy on 22 to point.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
Your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers have a Honda built just for you. Like the family-friendly Accord, 2018 North American Car of the Year. Or maybe the sporty yet sophisticated Honda Civic is the perfect fit. Your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers have them all.
You'll love the numbers you find on the celebrated 2018 Accord. And there's an offer to make you smile on the 2018 Civic.
Your new Honda is waiting for you at your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
The Nuts don't fall far from this family tree. Join the Pritchetts, the Dunphys, and the Tuckers for Modern Family. Weeknights at 6:30 and 7:30 on 22 The Point. Pine Richland unable to convert on 4th down after they recovered a punt which went off of an NA player. Now the Tigers have the football with 6:28 to go before halftime. Jeff Arnold, Dan Watson, Jordan Canigliaro with you on a rainy night from Newman Stadium. First down brought to you by W&J College from the 22, and a false start will back up NA 5 more yards.
Prior to the snap, false start by the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So instead they'll start from the 17.
It has just been a whole bunch of errors for North Allegheny, and this is a team, I mean both teams really, but especially North Allegheny. They pride themselves on moving the football on the ground, taking care of the ball, not making mistakes, playing great defense. They just have made too many mistakes here in the first half, have given themselves more of an uphill battle than it needs to be.
Coming to take it. This is a nice run by Kalala. And Kalala picks up 13 yards to the 30-yard line. Leading receiver on the team. Gave him a little bit of a pitch, and he turned it upfield.
I don't know how many teams there are in Western Pennsylvania where your top wide receiver has 22 carries on the year. This is a guy who is pretty versatile. They like to move him around, get the ball in his hands in some innovative ways, just like that.
So playing time as a sophomore. W&J College first down for NA. This time it's kept by Petchney, and right in the middle of it, it is Miguel Jackson.
It's number 56, Miguel Jackson.
Loss of 3 on the play.
Well, Pine Richland was there. Another sort of option play, and Miguel Jackson, this guy as a sophomore, 5 forced fumbles, 9 sacks, 11 tackles for loss, now make it 12. He's been all over the field and is coming into his own as a young defensive lineman.
Third down and 4. Quick throw. Melzer catches. Melzer, the first down out to the 40-yard line. A quick pitch and catch from Petchke to Melzer, and the drive stays alive for NA.
Well, I think if you're Art Walker Jr. on the sideline, you're saying, finally we're able to execute a play. You can call the best plays in the world. If you're not executing on those, it's not going to do any good. Well, this time, nice catch, nice run. You get a first down. Try and get these guys into some kind of offensive flow.
And also to eat a little bit of this clock as we near 4.5 minutes before halftime. And the Rams leading 7-0.
I saw him come off to talk to the coach. Yeah.
This time it will be kept by Petchke. As quarterback runs this one forward. As he comes in this year. Prior to him, you had Luke Truman as the quarterback, and then Ethan Mayenza threw and ran for 1,000 yards. Petchke, according to his head coach, Art Walker Jr., said he seemed more excited rather than nervous for this game tonight. Signs of a true competitor. Second down and 10. Mayenza. And Mayenza met up high by Luke Meckler. Does it on offense, does it on defense too.
Luke Meckler's been playing defense since a freshman year. You don't get many freshmen at programs of this caliber on both sides getting a lot of that playing time, getting those starters reps, but Meckler's just that kind of a player. He had a brother, Jesse Meckler, who is also a pretty good player for Pine Richland. You see the numbers on Ben Petchke. The completion to attempts doesn't look very good, but remember how many passes have been dropped tonight. I think he's done a nice job.
Yeah, not only on the NA side, but on the Pine Richland side as well. Third down and long. Great catch made by Kalula. Close to the first down, but it'll end up about a yard short. Kind of had to reach behind to make this grab. That's a good play.
Yeah, nice tackle once again. Luke Meckler was there. Connor Hetzel was there. I've been impressed by Hetzel. He came down on a goal line stand and made a couple of big tackles. He is not afraid, as a guy in that secondary, to stick his nose in there.
Fourth down and 1. Petchke under center. Pushes it forward. Still going. Petchke down to the 34-yard line. How about that? Boyd was the one that made the tackle. You needed only a yard, but he got a lot more than that.
Well, that is a swagger play right there. That was, you saw one of the big guys, Michael Durundo's 260. He's going Division I. They were pushing him like he was on ice skates. But you go on a quarterback sneak on a play like that, you gain more than 10 yards. You get a little pep in your step after that up front.
See if what can spur North Allegheny on in this drive. Play fake, pressure coming, and eventually the takedown courtesy of Tyler King. King with the sack, NA back to the 41.
Michael Kadick was there as well, another one of those linemen that go both ways. Kadick's on his way to the IU Hoosiers. See 64 in there, and Miguel Jackson not far off either.
King, the leading tackler on the team. That's his third sack of the season. So NA's used a bunch of clock, 1.5 minutes to go in the half. And the Tigers trying to score. Set up this screen, doesn't do anything. Mayenza makes the catch, but again, King is right there. So North Allegheny going in the wrong direction. And it's thanks to a couple of nice plays by Tyler King.
That is outstanding recognition by a guy who was an all-state player last year, made 150 tackles, and he comes up with a big one there. Now you got 3rd down and forever.
3rd down and 20. That big 17-yard run. And the momentum shifted right back to Pine Richland. 40 seconds to go in the half. Back to throw. Petschke will be stopped at the 40-yard line. Tyler King right there, along with Hetzel again, as those two have led the defense. You've got 20 seconds left, and they'll keep the offense out there.
Pine Richland lost a lot of guys off their offense, but we knew this defense was going to be strong coming back. Tyler King looks like one of those defenders who's the heart and soul, and he has flown all over the field in this first half.
And with 1 second left, timeout called by North Allegheny. Some members of Pine Richland think that the half had expired, but in fact there's 1 second remaining.
The timeout was called before the clock ran out. Please do 2 seconds on the clock.
I'll put two seconds back on the clock. We will take it as well. 7-0 Pine Richland on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 The Point.
It's my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian.
See what you can accomplish at W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
Heads up. Hey, nice catch.
Thanks.
Welcome to W&J. Where are you headed?
I'm trying to find my class.
Acceptance goes beyond the letter. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Week 8 of the NFL season features the undefeated LA Rams taking on the Green Bay Packers. Kickoff at 4:25, and it's all live and exclusive on your Fox 53. Art Walker Jr. waited for the clock to reach 2 seconds and then called a timeout to give the Tigers one last opportunity before halftime. Remember, it will be Pine Richland football to start the second half. So what are you going for here?
Well, the one time you try and guess what Art Walker Jr. is going to do is the time he does the exact opposite. So I won't even say.
Precise Cologne. Cologne. A good run, and it was good enough for a first down, but that's the final play of the first half. So you see the elements play a little bit of a role in the opening half. Last year, remember, this was a game where both offenses were on full display, especially in the running game. But with the rain falling tonight, Cole Spencer's score is the only thing that we have seen. And the Rams have a 7-0 lead after one half tonight at Newman Stadium. The winner takes the Quad County Conference. Plenty of folks out at North Allegheny tonight with their umbrellas trying to stay dry, and that includes our intrepid sideline reporter Jordan Canigliaro, and we will send it down to him.
Kasperovich, coach, this is the type of game you wanted, ground and pound in the rain?
Yeah, it's awesome. This is Western Pennsylvania football. I thought that was a well-played half by both football teams. I thought, at the end there, getting that stop was huge for us. But we got another half. We got another whole half to play here. I like the way what our guys are doing. We get the kick, which is nice. So hopefully go down, put one in here, and take a little bit bigger of a lead.
Number 1 seed on the line. Certainly a rivalry game. What's your message heading in?
Yeah, it's 0-0. We got to come out, and it's another half. It's another 24 minutes of football. We're doing some good things. We got to shore up a couple things, but I like where we're at right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back up to you.
All right, Jordan, thanks. 7-0 your score. Pine Richland has the lead at halftime. Halftime coverage coming up in just a moment on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the Point.
We have more trucks than anyone else at C. Harper.
That's right. Get a 2018 Chevy Silverado for only $249 a month.
The best price every time, all the time.
It's just that easy. Snap a SwitchMate over your existing light switches and see how smart your home can be. SwitchMate gets the lights for you so your home stays on schedule and makes sure the lights go out at the right time to match any mood. All you do is snap SwitchMate over your switch and never worry about the kids running late again. Start living smart with SwitchMate Slim, the only wire-free smart light switch.
Hi, I'm Todd Titsworth with Health Markets Insurance Agency here in Pittsburgh. The healthcare insurance market, yeah, it can be confusing. And if you're an individual or small business owner, I can make it easier for you to understand. I'll consult with you, construct a plan that best fits your needs as well as your budget. Health Markets represents over 200 carriers nationwide, so the right plan for you may only be a phone call away. I can be reached online or by phone today. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and have a nice day.
That's right. And get a 2018 Chevy Cruze for only $79 a month at C. Harper. And join us in support of...
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. C. Harper cares.
That's what Papa.
The World Series on Fox. 2 legendary franchises in a matchup for the ages. Red Sox, Dodgers.
Game 3 of the MLB on Fox World Series tonight at 7:30 on Fox 53.
Hi, I'm Jordan Canigliaro. Join us Sunday at 8 on 22 The Point for Marketplace Pittsburgh. We'll have an exciting half hour filled with local events and businesses you may be interested in. Marketplace Pittsburgh is on Sunday at 8 here on 22 The Point. Welcome back to the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau Friday Night Rivals halftime show. Joining us now, the president of the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau, Jack Cohen. Jack, tell us about the mission of your organization.
Our job is to go out and tell people about the quality of life in Butler County. We do that through many different ways: TV, radio, print, and we want to make sure people understand all the great things they're here to offer.
And promoting sports in Butler County has also become a big part of what your organization does.
Well, we can talk about different sports, the first being hockey. You know, the Lemieux Center chose to move back into Butler County, and we built that wonderful facility. That facility alone generated $44.5 million in the year ending 2016.
And then when you look forward, you're trying to attract other tournaments.
We do. So we try to bring the tournaments in where people stay in our hotels, eat in our restaurants, visit other facilities, and enjoy and understand that those things are here every day for every guest that comes to our community.
And when you talk about attracting people who are sports fans, Pittsburgh, of course, such a short drive from Butler County.
It truly is. The road systems is such a place that we can get from Cranberry Township to downtown Pittsburgh in 20 minutes. But if we want to go north, Route 80 is only another 20 minutes up the road. And then if we go over to our east, we have Route 28. And so on the turnpike is right below us. So road systems are very important because location is everything. And all those sports that are here with Lake Arthur, with the beautiful lake, and all the school districts with all the facilities that they offer, we're very fortunate to have all those things at our fingertips.
And the education Butler County has to offer in the local school districts has also become a big selling point for you.
We think that the education is one of those quality of life issues that are really important for every community. And when you talk about the school districts, there's a really great opportunity for us to share what they do on a regular basis with their sports. So you look at the facilities that they all offer in our 8 different school districts and the things that we have our footprint in now, all of a sudden we become a sports mecca.
And building these relationships in the community. People are more aware now of what the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau does.
They truly understand what we're trying to do, and that is to get people to understand about that quality of life. So before folks move here, they're going to check out the school districts. They're going to come and see the different facilities that we have to offer, not just in sports, but they'll look at restaurants. They're going to look at all the different things that surround the community and how they can benefit from that. And once they figure that out, that we got great school districts and we got great sports and we have great opportunities for all sorts of different things, they're going to want to move here.
And when you talk about promoting Butler County, it's not just in Western Pennsylvania and the United States, but also internationally.
You know, we just announced about a new flight coming in from England. And British Airways is starting up in April. And so we have that opportunity. But we have international flights from all over around the globe. You know, we've got China, we have France, we have Germany. So we're very fortunate to have those different flights that come in and out of Pittsburgh all the time. And if you think about it, from the airport to Cranberry Township is only a 25 or 30-minute drive.
This opportunity to work with these school districts as part of Friday Night Rivals, what does that mean?
Well, think about some of the past people that lived here. Terry Hanratty, some other Steelers that have played here and went to school here. And baseball, the same thing. Sid Bream played for the Pirates, played for Atlanta, lives in Zelienople, Butler County. So we know the different sports folks. We can't say enough about the hockey because of the impact it has on us. They're here every day. So we get to see those folks in and out of here all the time. And we love that most of them live here now. We're very fortunate, and those things are at their fingertips.
Anything else you'd like to add?
We're just blessed to be here. And between the school districts, the superintendents that film these great pieces for us, they're awesome. They get it. We get it, and we're glad to share it.
You're watching the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau Friday Night Rivals halftime show.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
I am not cerebral palsy.
I am not a chronic pain condition.
I'm not a brain injury.
I'm not a genetic disorder.
I won't be limited by what I have. I will be measured
by what I accomplish.
At the Children's Institute, we provide the outpatient care kids need close to home because all we see is possibility.
I am amazing.
What surprised me was how well I would fit in and who I would fit in with.
The robotics program was the first club I joined when I was a freshman. It really introduced me to a lot of new people, a lot of new ideas.
It just feels like you have freedom to grow into who you want to be.
It's okay to be an athlete, but you can also be in the musical. It's Central, you really get to be your own person.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
Welcome back to the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau Friday Night Rivals halftime show. We're now joined by Seneca Valley School District Superintendent Dr. Tracy Vitale. Tell us about your district.
I'm very proud of Seneca Valley. We are 100 square miles. Many people don't realize that. We have many municipalities, 9 different areas that all feed into one school district. I think that makes us unique. And across that 100 square miles, we have a pretty diverse population. We have students coming to us from Cranberry Township, which is very suburban, a lot of amenities there, a lot of growth, a lot of retail. And we have students coming to us as far north as Harmony and Zelienople, where we have rich historical areas and rural areas where we have many beautiful trails and parks.
So if a family is looking to relocate, why could Butler County and your district be the right choice for their education?
First of all, Butler County is very affordable, and I'm very proud of what Butler County offers in all of our public schools when it comes to sports, when it comes to clubs, when it comes to advanced placement courses. We are very academically competitive. We have students that get into Ivy League schools. We have students that go to technical schools, vocational schools. And I think Seneca Valley has one of the best offerings when it comes to academics, when it comes to sports, and when it comes to athletics and clubs as well.
How has your curriculum evolved to align with the future workplace?
Well, what we know, first of all, is science, technology, engineering, and math has really taken off. We know that the Department of Defense came to many of our public schools probably about 8 years ago and said, we have a real deficit with engineers. And so we began a real focus, not just at Seneca Valley, but in the county and in the state of Pennsylvania on STEM. So certainly STEM has taken off with computer programming courses, partnerships that we have with many of our colleges, with cybersecurity. That seems to be a very big and evolving area in the last 2 years. And recently Seneca Valley was awarded a silver medal from an institute out of New York City when it comes to science and creativity.
And what are some exciting upcoming events that students and their families can look forward to?
What I'm very proud of at Seneca Valley is we're getting ready to build a $13 million swimming pool and aquatic center. And our swimming pool is very outdated. And as I said earlier, Seneca Valley is very much invested in lifelong sports, raising healthy children, focusing on wellness in our communities. And how can the school be an asset for the community? We are also getting ready to build a brand new elementary building that will be a K through 6th grade elementary building. And that will take a little longer, probably about 3 years to break ground on that. But we're in the planning stages about what the school of the future should look like.
And finally, what does this opportunity to work with the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau and Friday Night Rivals mean?
Football has always been something in Western Pennsylvania that brings our communities out. It draws the largest crowd. And it's a time when the community can come together and watch our youth excel in leadership skills. It's not just about the game of football. It's about life skills. And it's about building leadership with our young men in that program.
And the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau Friday Night Rivals halftime show continues after this.
Bacon, egg, cheese. Only one way to make this better. Another one. Dunkin' Go-Tos. Get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5. America runs on Dunkin'.
Bridgeville Appliance and Dormont Appliance are proud to carry Speed Queen washers and dryers. Speed Queen products can last up to 25 years. For over a century, Speed Queen has been providing reliable American-made washers and dryers that last and last. With interest-free financing and expert installation, Bridgeville and Dormont Appliance make buying Speed Queen products easy and affordable. Ask about Speed Queen washers and dryers at your local appliance experts. Bridgeville Appliance and Dormont Appliance.
Why are we at Get-Go? Are we having jerky for lunch?
No, man. You got to get to know Get-Go. They've got incredible food.
Good. It's not jerky for breakfast.
Their chefs came up with these delicious subs, all-day breakfast, real fruit smoothies. Plus, there's more than 100 unique ingredients. So
they have ranch bread? That's a thing?
Baked fresh daily.
Oh, I'm kidding. Go.
Didn't I tell you this was good?
And you were wrong. This is way better than good.
Yeah, ranch bread. Get-Go Cafe and Market. Better. Believe it.
Your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers have a Honda built just for you. Like the family-friendly Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year. And named one of Car and Driver's 10 Best a record 32 years in a row. There's a dynasty at your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers. And remember, every new Accord features Honda Sensing for safety and an offer that will make you very happy. Your Accord is waiting for you at your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers.
I'm bored. I want to be entertained.
Why don't we play a game? Follow me. Ready? Close your eyes. I'm gonna be an awesome mom.
Monday at 7 on 22 The Point.
Welcome back to the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau Friday Night Rivals halftime show. I'm Jordan Canigliaro. You're watching Pine Richland and North Allegheny here on 22 The Point. We'll have the second half kickoff in a bit. Right now, a preview of the action coming up this weekend. Will there be more October surprises in college football? It's been a month full of upsets and close games. We have another doubleheader Saturday on Fox 53. Starting in the Big Ten, it's a West Division showdown, with Northwestern hosting number 20 Wisconsin. The Big Ten game kicks off at noon, followed by a Big 12 matchup at 3:30, with number 8 Oklahoma hosting Kansas State. It's a classic East Coast versus West Coast World Series with the Boston Red Sox and Los Angeles Dodgers. The series continues tomorrow night on Fox 53. The coverage starts at 7:30 from Dodger Stadium for an always pivotal game number 4. Fox 53 is your home for the 2018 World Series. To the NFL, there's just one team still unbeaten through 7 weeks. We'll see them Sunday on our Fox 53 Game of the Week. Led by quarterback Jared Goff, the LA Rams have been impressive. They're up to 7-0, but they'll be tested against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Kickoff is 4:25. Then next Thursday night, it's another football night on Fox 53. Stay tuned for the Raiders and 49ers. That's next Thursday at 8. Well, each week there are Friday Night Rivals games being broadcast across the country. Here's a look at some of the top plays from last week.
Just underway in the second quarter, and there's SQ. SQ inside the 40. And bowls him over at the 30. Inside the 20, outside the numbers, inside the 10. 5 goes for the end zone.
Play action in the end zone.
Wow! What a catch.
Good.
That is phenomenal.
DePalma back to pass, comes pressure off the left side, throws it. And it's picked up. And he's got room. Into corner number territory, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Walk this way, touchdown, Skyhawk.
And here's your kickoff to start this game. Receiver takes it to the 20-yard line, and he has room. He could be gone. Oh, wow. This could be the first score of the night. All the way down the field is Colin Wilson for the first touchdown. No laundry on the field.
Second down, Span. And Span gets out of one tackle, and Span's got room. Span will go.
99.9 yards for the touchdown for Tutu Span.
Thanks for tuning in to the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau Friday Night Rivals halftime show. Stay tuned for the second half between Pine Richland and North Allegheny here on 22 The Point.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
Live, love, get sauced.
Roxanne can, and so can you. If you're a high school senior looking for a career, then consider one with unlimited earning potential. Roxanne Agostinelli at Keller Williams can help you unlock your potential through a targeted training program with one of the leading real estate firms in the nation, Keller Williams. All you need to do is get in touch, and Roxanne and her training team will do the rest. Go online right now to roxannecan.com/kickoff and get ready to kick off your career in real estate and score big.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
Lethal, Gresham, Liger, and Kushida. It's tag team action this week on Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Saturday at 4 on 22 The Point. This program is brought to you by Newcastle School of Trades.
Next time on the Goldbergs.
Out.
She's making eyes at you. Do it back.
That was great.
Monday at 6 on 22 The Point.
And welcome back to the Butler County Tourism Halftime Report. 7-0 lead for Pine Richland on North Allegheny. Jeff Arnold, Dan Watson, Jordan Canigliaro with you tonight from NA. As Pine Richland 7-0 lead. It was a defensive struggle in the opening half, and that was hard due to the rain.
Well, it didn't look like it early. Ben Mayenza creased him 60 yards on this, but Luke Meckler pushes him out of bounds by his fingertips and puts it out at the 5-yard line. And then Pine Richland comes up with a stop. It looked like on this play-action pass they had a man, Amasas Porter, but it was knocked away. A heck of a play that time by Dylan Stenson. They missed the short field goal, and so they come up empty despite being down on the doorstep. 1st and goal at the 5. Pine Richland turned eventually that into points. Just plow it in behind 3 blockers and that big right side of the offensive line. Cole Spencer from 1 yard out gets it in. That was the only score of that first half. It got a little ugly. Defensive struggle, as you see. Dante Caputo came shooting in. They were trying to run that read option for most of the first half. Pine Richland had something up their sleeve as well. You see Miguel Jackson on that play making a stop. They got into the backfield. You see Tyler King making a big play along with Michael Kadick. Yeah, these defenses are standing tall. I think they're getting an assist from this rain, however, here at the tail of the tape at the half.
And you kind of think that both sides, regardless of the rain, would have run the football, but number of drops, I think 4 or 5 drops by both teams combined in the opening half. But when you think about it, this is probably good preparation for when you're playing football in November and maybe even December. To be prepared for some of the tough elements that you'll deal with, you need to find a way to run the football and stop the run as well. Earlier tonight, big check presentation in North Allegheny High School, representing 22 The Point, Ross Brown, and accepting the $500 check, North Allegheny AD Bob Bizzuto. 22 The Point, proud to bring Friday Night Rivals again this year and to support high school football in general here in Western Pennsylvania. We'd also like to thank Tootie's Famous Italian Beef in Southside for providing food for our crew. Right now, get 4 junior beef sandwiches, 4 small servings of bacon, mac, and cheese, all for $35. You save $10. Go to Tootie'sFamous.com or call 412-485-586-5959 to order now. Here are the second half adjustments. Luke Meckler was pretty active in the first half, running 15 times for 57 yards. Then for North Allegheny, it sounds simple, but it's tough tonight in this rain. You have to catch the football.
Yeah, I think they're going to stay on the ground. Meckler last week had his season high for carries with 27. He might top that tonight. And then, again, NA, they had at least 3 drop passes that would have made a big difference in that first half. So just clean things up. Again, North Allegheny is a team that traditionally, under Art Walker Jr., has converted. They have executed on both sides of the ball. Didn't do that in the first half, but they're still only down 1 score. They got to feel pretty fortunate coming out of halftime.
World Series continues tomorrow night with the Boston Red Sox and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Catch all the action tomorrow night at 8, exclusively on your Fox 53. Right now in the bottom of the first inning, Game 3. And it's a scoreless game so far. Red Sox, of course, up 2-0 after winning both games at Fenway Park.
Heard Walker Buehler was in triple digits. Well, that guy has been a big time.
It's been fun to watch.
He has been an impact arm for the Dodgers, has he not?
He has been. 2 big media markets meeting up. Pine Richland will receive the football to start the second half. Rams have lost only 1 game this year. That came to IMG Academy. First week of the season, IMG, one of the best programs in the country. And if you ask Eric Kasperovich, he said, we would have played them again if we would have had to have done it all over again and twice on Sunday, because it prepares you for games like this against North Allegheny. Tonight, a lot on the line. Down to Jordan Canigliaro, who's with Art Walker Jr.
Yeah, here with Coach Art Walker Jr. Coach, what was your message at halftime?
Yeah, we're in a game. We got to get a couple breaks. We had a couple mistakes. We let them off the hook in the first quarter. We should have got 3 or 7 out of that, but we're in a game. Our defense is playing great. We just got to capitalize, and we got to get some points on the board in this quarter.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Back to you.
Tonight's second half Roxanne Can kickoff brought to you by Keller Williams Realty. High school seniors kick off your real estate career after graduation with our high school training program. Log on to roxannecan.com/kickoff for more information. Dylan Stinson out to the 20-yard line and 80 yards for Pine Richland to travel.
Good coverage on that kickoff to open this second half as well by North Allegheny. And you would guess that there were some stern words at the halftime break. Again, these guys are excellent teachers on both sides of the coaching staffs here. Some adjustments to be made on both sides, to say the least.
There, Cole Spencer, run it 9 times so far. And this man's been very active, too. Luke Meckler out to the 42-yard line. So give him 22 yards on his 16th carry of the night. Good for a W&J College first down.
Well, adjustment at the half wasn't really an adjustment. They were feeding Meckler in the first half, right back to him on this first carry, and they're trying to flex their muscles up front.
And Meckler again, this time knocked down after a pickup of 8. Out to midfield.
And they're going a little faster now. Pick up the pace and keep feeding Luke Meckler. Make this defense gasp for air a little bit.
Third quarter tonight brought to you by the Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau. Sometimes the best treasures found off the beaten path. Explore more at visitbutlercounty.com. Meckler, why not? He's got the first down to the 43-yard line for Dante Caputo. Is the one that makes the tackle. Caputo at his 5th stop of the game.
This is just power. Left side of the line's blocking down and making creases. Until they stop it, I wouldn't imagine Pine Richland would stop running it.
Again, Luke Meckler. Meckler, who a week ago rushed it 27 times. He figures like he might go past that tonight. 209 yards a week ago against a very physical Seneca Valley team. And then earlier this year against Central Catholic, 263 yards. I think it's fair to say that Meckler, as Eric Kasperovich put it, has been let out of the garage. Second down and 9. This time Spencer on the keep.
Number 4.
And he'll plunge forward to the 38-yard line.
Well, that's the other thing you can do off of that. You can run the ball and do it consistently, but you can still, within that running game, keep the defense on their toes.
Meckler on third down, and he'll be a little bit shy.
Oh, good adjustment by North Allegheny. That was just chunk play after chunk play by Pine Richland, and then all of a sudden they stand up, and now it's down to 4th down.
Pine Richland was 1 of 3 when they tried 4th downs in the first half. This is close. Looks like he's short. Officials have not said anything just yet.
The tackle made on the play by number 33, Ethan Augustine.
It was Ethan Augustine that made this tackle. And it looks like they're going to bring out the chains for a measurement.
Well, that's a lot closer than it looked initially by the naked eye. How about the linebackers? The middle linebackers for North Allegheny. You had Cade Hoke, who was a terrific player in 2016 as a sophomore. He missed all of last year with a torn ACL. But sort of the silver lining to that was Ethan Augustine got a full year of playing, and they're short. Good stop by Augustine, and that's the benefit. You get Ethan Augustine a year of full-time snaps at linebacker. He comes up with a big play there.
And North Allegheny has got the football. 9:51 to go, third quarter. 7-0 Rams on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the point.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
I cannot say enough good about Central Catholic. The school has made Colin someone that I knew was in there all along.
Looking back over my 4 years, Central has really changed my life completely. It's made me smarter, it's made me closer to God, and it's made me realize the value of true friends.
It is a decision that we made to send our boys to this institution, and I would not trade it for anything.
At the end of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Dunkin' Donuts play of the game. High school football runs on Dunkin'. And did you know that more than half of all homes in the U.S. use natural gas? Almost 62 million families. Is yours one of them? IGS Energy has great rates and products that fit your energy needs. Visit IGSenergy.com for more information. After a measurement, Pine Richland was short on a 4th down and short. And now a W&J College first down for North Allegheny. It's kept by the quarterback, Ben Petchke, I beg your pardon. That was actually Gunnar Fisher who was driving this forward. And Fisher gains probably a yard. And so that last drive, it started off with Pine Richland in the driver's seat going to Luke Meckler, and then the defense bowed its back.
Yeah, heck of a job up front. I would assume there was an adjustment scheme-wise to get some better run fits there. They did an excellent job. Here you had Petchke in for every play until this. Fisher's more of a mobile guy. You wonder if they'll try and run the ball a little bit more.
Petchke completes to the sideline this time, and the ball comes out. Pine Richland football. And it's recovered by Merrick Miller. Eric Kasperovich has spoken so highly of what Miller has done in his first year as a Rams defensive starter, and Pine Richland gets the takeaway.
Well, it looked like they had the forward progress stopped. He was still fighting, though, and the ball came out. Heck of a job by the defender to get the hand in there, get it behind that football, and rip it out. And Pine Richland's second turnover they forced so far tonight. These are two teams. Pine Richland came in +7 in the turnover margin. North Allegheny +11. They've both been outstanding as far as forcing takeaways and taking care of the ball on offense.
20 overall takeaways for Pine Richland now on the season. W&J College first down. Spencer to throw. Knocked away. Corey Melzer was the one that made sure it would not be caught by Eli Yoakum.
Well, he had 2 receivers on that side of the field, and he goes with a seam route. And when you look at the play, broken up, and he had Johnson outside as well, number 10. But in making that play, defender is down for North Allegheny.
Tri-State Orthopedics and Sports Medicine accepts all major insurance.
We'll step aside on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the Point.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
Hi, I'm Todd Titsworth, licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency here in Pittsburgh. Are you turning 65 or new to Medicare and confused by your options? You're not alone. Choosing the right coverage for your needs and budget can be difficult. Health Markets represents numerous carriers nationwide, so finding the plan that best fits your needs and budget could be an easy task. You can contact me by going online or giving me a call today. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and have a nice day.
Visit Butler County. We know it's the little things that make a getaway great. So come to Butler County this fall.
At the end of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Health Markets Defensive Play of the Game. Thank you to Todd Titsworth from Health Markets, the smarter way to shop for health insurance. And Conroy Foods has been making Beano's original submarine dressing right here in Pittsburgh for 30 years. Find Beano's in your local grocer's deli department. The player that was down on the field was Corey Melzer, who is the one that broke up that pass, which is intended for Eli Yoakum. And now he is being walked off the field. And some support from Art Walker and the training staff.
Well, on your senior night, that is not the way you want to see this end. He made a heck of a play. And it looked like Spencer had his pick down that side. He had a man down the seam, and he had a man down the sideline. And that might be one of those plays as you develop as a quarterback. Maybe you look that safety off, you manipulate the defense and deliver the throw. Heck of a play by Melzer.
They go to Luke Meckler. And Meckler a gain of 3 yards on the play. Keeps churning the legs and turning to Luke Meckler, a guy that'll be a key in a game like tonight where the rain has been falling and both teams have been running the football a ton. We expected a lot of that anyways, but it's been accentuated on account of the rain that has been falling. Meckler tries the left. He's to the 26, chipping his way along for a couple more. Cade Hoke, Dan, you mentioned, missed all of last season on account of a knee injury. He's the one that made the tackle. Dad Chris spent 11 seasons as Steelers defensive lineman.
Well, and some good genes there, and he's got a younger brother as well, Nathan Hoke, a sophomore, 2 years behind him.
Pine Richland will go for it on 4th down and 4. Still time of the play clock. And now Spencer backs up into the shotgun. Throws to the sideline, incomplete. It was intended for Shane Caffardi. And a turnover on downs for Pine Richland. We see another drop.
Well, how many times do you think they've run this play in practice? That is, he ran it perfectly. He was there. The throw was right on the hands. But I think it's another one where on a dry night, that's probably caught. But they could not bring it in. It's been just playing havoc with both offenses.
Opechki comes out for North Allegheny, looking for their first score tonight. 9-0 record on the year, 7-0 in Quad County Conference play. Sam Gilash. Gilash to the 34-yard line. A really solid run on 1st down.
Well, what they do, they had Ben Manza back there, and they faked the pitch to him. That makes those linebackers, those defensive ends, sort of account for that. So you can't just come right up the middle at Sam Gilash. You have to account for that man who's going out wide. It opens up just enough of a hole for Gilash to pick up 7 or 8.
They fake the pitch to Cologne. Petchke will keep and move the chains. Ben Petchke, a couple yards short of the 40-yard line.
Number 3, Precise Cologne, I think, is a guy to watch here in the second half. They gave him a carry right up against the halftime break. But 2 carries, 31 yards so far. He's been as explosive as it gets for North Allegheny. Has not had a big impact yet.
First down brought to you by W&J College. Petchke tries to throw, and this is incomplete. Looking for Ben Mayenza. Mayenza, who leads the team and is at the very top of the Whippeal with 16 touchdowns. They wanted that to him quickly, but another one of those plays. Dry night, probably a catch.
They don't use him a whole lot out of the backfield as far as a receiver. 4 catches this year, whereas you look over at Luke Meckler, he's got 13 catches. So, they just use their guys a little differently. That time they try to get innovative and get it to Mayenza out of the backfield, and it just didn't work out. It was almost like an extended handoff.
Gilash again.
Number 47, Sam Gilash, again the ball carrier.
Make it to the 42-yard line. Gain of 4 on this play. Petchke has done a majority of the running tonight for North Allegheny, and then Cologne, Mayenza, Colella, and Gilash, the others that have been involved.
I'm a little surprised we haven't seen more of Ben Mayenza. 4 carries in the first half, that's it. And the one went for 60 yards.
It's been the big play of the game so far. Cologne sweeping. Cologne is near a first down, and it looks like he's got it. So Precise Cologne, you ask for him, you get him. And they have enough to move the chains.
Cologne almost fumbles this ball. Again, it's wet, it's slippery. He was able to hang on, and then you see him finish the run and get past the first down marker. He's returned a kickoff for a touchdown this year. He's been, whenever he gets the ball, you kind of hold your breath defensively and hope you can pen him in.
And he's one of the exciting players on this Tigers offense that will be returning next year. W&J College first down. Petschke following blockers. Petschke, a really nice run. He picks up 9 on this first down carry.
I think both teams at this point are saying, forget about everything else. Let's just run power. See if we can run the other team over. And it's tough. They're both big up front, so I guess we're just going to see who's bigger, who's got playing with better leverage.
And these are two of the best offensive and defensive lines in the entire state. Kasperovich, the offensive line, defensive line, probably about as deep as he's had since he's been at Pine Richland. Second down and 1. Petschke throws incomplete. There looked like a hold, and then after Colella had it, he ran into Precise Cologne. Sure, it would be an incomplete pass.
Well, I think it's safe to say this was not how the play was drawn up. You just don't run two post routes into each other. But, it's one of those nights where things are getting a little haywire out there. And two guys run a route to the same spot. That's not how you draw it up, but that's how it happened. Another play that does not go the way of North Allegheny. They have not gotten many breaks tonight. Just those 50-50 balls have not bounced their way.
Still have a third down and 1. Cologne into the backfield. Petschke keeps. First down yardage. Remember earlier on in this game, he followed blockers and picked up 17 yards. This time not as much, but still is able to get what he needs.
Well, it looked like they had a completion, and they say, well, right back to the power. Line it up, run it at him.
W&J College first down inside of 5 minutes in the third quarter. Toss to Cologne. Precise Cologne banged out of bounds. Chance Boyd was the one who showed him to the sidelines.
They run to the short side. A little surprised. That is not, you would think, Cologne's forte. I want to give him space. Get him into that one-on-one, whereas this time, Pine Richland able to use that boundary as another defender.
Pine Richland's defense came in allowing 13.5 points a game. They have physicality, they have quickness, and they have a lot of intelligence. A unit that is being led by Eric Kasperovich, second year that he has held the defensive coordinator duties. Second down and 6. Give to Gilash. And the tackle made by Anthony Sermonera.
Lost the ball carrier for the Tigers.
Sermonera makes the tackle at the 31-yard line, and Kasperovich thought that the thing that was holding Pine Richland back from the state title was the defense. So he spent an entire summer figuring out scheme, what he wanted to accomplish, and Pine Richland's defense last year, among the very best in the state, led him to a 16-0 record in that elusive PIAA championship.
Just amazing what he's done in just this is his 6th year as the head man.
The 11th play of the drive, Precise Cologne is forced out of bounds shy of the 25-yard line.
Down number 34, Anthony Sermonera.
Sermonera makes the play.
Well, once again, they want Cologne to the short side of the field and some pretty good pursuits. Sermonera was an all-conference performer last year. They've got Tyler King in that linebacking core, and they like Merrick Miller as well. So you've got a very strong front seven. And then in the back end, Luke Meckler. And we've seen Connor Hetzel make a big play tonight, as well as Dylan Stenson at the other corner.
They pick up the first down. They had just enough. Clock rolling, 3:10 to go in the third quarter. W&J College first down for North Allegheny. From the 27th, Petschke off the hands of Precise Cologne. He was right there, and Luke Meckler was also flying to the football.
Cologne's the second guy that's just ripped off the gloves. Forget it. I mean, Joey Porter Jr. did the same thing earlier. These gloves, when they're dry, are great. You almost can't not catch a ball. But then when they get wet, I think sometimes it magnifies the slipperiness of that moisture.
North Allegheny trying to find a way to score. More than 10 plays on this drive. Second down from the 27. This time it's Mayenza.
And Mayenza, the ball carrier for the Tigers.
Mayenza to the 22-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. It's Miguel Jackson who's receiving props from Eric Kasperovich. That quick first step. He's the one that makes the play.
Well, this is the type of drive that North Allegheny wants. Control the clock, control possession. They're up above 13 plays on this drive and almost through the third quarter.
Kept by Petschke. And Petschke has enough for the first down. Petschke runs it out to the 12-yard line.
Well, there you go, 63. Trent Miller has to jump outside and try and keep contained because he thinks the pitch is going out there. And when he does that, he leaves a crease for the quarterback to run right through.
Opportunity to move the chains one more time for the Tigers. We hit 2 minutes. Incredibly long drive by North Allegheny. Motion into the backfield. This is Gilash, touchdown! North Allegheny in for the score. And with an extra point, we will be tied.
Boy, we talk about the weapons, Mayenza, Cologne, and then you forget about this guy, Sam Gilash. Look at that hole. He's got 5 yards to run right up the field, and nobody's close to him. He caps off a textbook North Allegheny drive. They were able to string things together, own the clock in this third quarter, and tie up the ball game.
Take it in from 12 yards out. Longest drive of the night we've seen. High snap. They get it down, and the extra point added on by Isaac West. 7-7 with 1:47 to go in the third quarter. Gilash finishes off this extended drive for the Tigers. Conference championship on the line tonight on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the Point.
You define success. Jumpstart your career with W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Bridgeville Appliance and Dormont Appliance are proud to carry Speed Queen washers and dryers. Speed Queen products can last up to 25 years. For over a century, Speed Queen has been providing reliable American-made washers and dryers that last and last. With interest-free financing and expert installation, Bridgeville and Dormont Appliance make buying Speed Queen products easy and affordable. Ask about Speed Queen washers and dryers at your local appliance experts. Bridgeville Appliance and Dormont Appliance.
It's my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian.
See what you can accomplish at W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Are you looking for some late night laughs? Look no further than the Goldbergs and Blackish weeknights at 10 and 10:30 on 20 to the Point. Well, we just saw what is probably one of the longest, if not the longest drive that we have seen this entire season on our C. Harper Friday Night Rivals coverage, powered by IGS Energy. 15 plays, 6 minutes. Drive summary brought to you by your local Honda dealers. And it was basically, besides one incompletion, it was all on the ground.
Yeah, all their yardage came on run plays, and they just said, you know what? Forget about all these pass plays. Just line it up. Run power. Forget about it. I mean, you've got a huge offensive line up there yes, Pine Richland's big too. But if you think you're going to be able to play with better leverage, you're going to be able to move them backwards, and the Tigers have at times tonight, let it rip.
Stenson from the 15. It'll be good field position for Pine Richland as they will start just shy of the 35-yard line. Hey, Dan, if a person yelled for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, you know what would happen?
Probably lose their voice.
Well, that, and they'd also produce enough energy to heat up 1 cup of coffee. Save your voice for the cheering section and let IGS Energy handle your energy needs. Head over to IGSenergy.com for more information. Well, Pine Richland, they had some momentum going in their last drive, which felt like it was ages ago. After that 6-minute drive by North Allegheny. And they got some momentum with Luke Meckler, and then eventually the Tigers got a stop on 4th down, took over, and engineered their first scoring drive of the night. Luke Meckler at the carry makes it to the 36-yard line for a short pickup.
Well, they went empty that time and then motioned Meckler into the backfield. Not real surprised. They don't do a whole lot of empty stuff, and when they do, they get the ball out of there quickly.
There you see Cole Spencer. He has attempted some passes tonight. With the rain, not a lot of them have been complete. He's back to throw. Now taking off. Eventually buried. North Allegheny with the sack, and a late flag comes in. The very bottom of the pile was Liam Alker Connolly. And Amasis Porter was also there, but let's check the marker. A referee tonight, Bill Heidkamp.
Parker Titsworth was the one who made the sack, but it looks like it's going to be a hold. You don't see many sacks for Pine Richland. They get the ball out so quickly, they usually don't give you time. You're almost better off getting as far as you can, then raising your hands.
Blocking it back by the offense. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
So I don't think you really blame him for declining the penalty. It was such a big loss on this play.
Yeah, you can see the hold out at the right side. It was Amasis Porter who was trying to get to the quarterback, and the arm came around. I think that's where they threw the flag.
Third down and 16. And this time it's encroachment against North Allegheny, so they'll get some back.
Remains 3rd down.
So it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, still not great, but it's better than 3rd and 16. And again, this is a Pine Richland offense. They know how to throw the ball. They haven't done it as much this year as in past years, but this is an offense that is built to throw the ball. Now, they've been running the ball and pounding it out for most of this year.
Third down. Spencer held up. There was a hit in the backfield, and then Alker Connolly was the one that cleaned it up. 4th down. You get the points after the 15-yard drive, and Alpine Richland will try and flip the field. 10 seconds to go in the 3rd.
At this point, I don't know who's going to throw the ball next. Clearly, Pine Richland doesn't want to throw the ball. And why would North Allegheny after their last drive? They go 15 yards down the field, or rather 15 plays down the field, and score a touchdown.
And the punt will have to wait, and we get to the 4th quarter. So the big momentum shift in this game. A 15-yard drive that results in a North Allegheny touchdown. 7 apiece going to the 4th. Conference title on the line on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the point.
Bacon, egg, cheese. Only one way to make this better. Another one. Dunkin' Go-Tos. Get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5. America runs on Dunkin'.
What surprised me was how well I would fit in and who I would fit in with.
The robotics program was the first club I joined when I was a freshman. It really introduced me to a lot of new people, a lot of new ideas.
It just feels like you have freedom to grow into who you want to be.
It's okay to be an athlete, but you can also be in the musical. At Central, you really get to be your own person.
Why are we at Get-Go? Are we having jerky for lunch?
No, man. You got to get to know Get-Go. They've got incredible food.
Good, because I have jerky for breakfast.
Their chefs came up with these delicious subs, all-day breakfast, real fruit smoothies. Plus, there's more than 100 unique ingredients.
They have French bread? That's a thing?
Baked fresh daily.
Oh, I'm kidding. Go.
Didn't I tell you this was good?
And you were wrong. This is way better than good.
That ranch bread. Get-Go Cafe and Market. Better. Believe it.
Catch TV's Funniest Family Monday through Friday.
Why do you have to throw a wet blanket on my dreams?
I do not.
You do it all the time. And you know what I end up with? Wet dreams. I heard it as soon as I said it. Just leave it alone.
Modern Family Nightly.
Weeknights at 6:30.
Lethal, Gresham, Linder, and Kushida. It's tag team action this week on Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Saturday at 4 on 22 The Point. This program is brought to you by Newcastle School of Trades.
Bay Area bragging rights are at stake when the Raiders take on the 49ers.
Thursday on Fox 53. This program is brought to you locally by PNC. Make today the day.
Allegheny High School is shaping up to be a great finish here. It's 7-7. Tigers and Pine Richland Rams all knotted up as we head into the fourth quarter. I'm now joined by our special fourth quarter guest, North Allegheny Superintendent Dr. Bob Shearer. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you again for being part of Friday Night Rivals.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I mean, Friday nights in North Allegheny are they're special. They're community events. You come out, you see the football team, the band, the cheerleaders. It's a celebration, and really it's rain. Wish that wasn't here tonight, but other than that, it's a phenomenal night.
Yeah, exciting times in North Allegheny. What are some things students, staff, and families look forward to this school year?
So we're really working on really redefining what success looks like for students. You know, students are so much more than a test score. So our measuring success framework really looks at achievement and growth, future preparation, school climate, student and staff wellness, and that's really what gets us excited, looking at that whole child.
So thank you again for being part of this.
Thank you, and go Tigers.
Shaping up to be a great finish here. Back up to you.
And the Tigers will have the football. Pine Richland punting on fourth down or fourth quarter tonight, brought to you by the C. Harper Auto Group. The best price every time, all the time. Find us at charper.com. Spencer to punt. Line drive kick. Here's Joey Porter Jr. And he'll have it at the 49. Ball comes out, but he was already down. So great field position for North Allegheny. Was able to tie the game after going 15 plays for 74 yards in 6 minutes. Eventually it ended with a Sam Gilash touchdown. The only score of the game for Pine Richland came very early into the second quarter on a Cole Spencer 1-yard run, but that's it.
That had to feel good for Joey Porter Jr. He has not had the night that he's wanted. Finally gets that low and basically no hang time punt with a good bounce right to him. He had the blockers set up, and now he sets up his offense in some good field position.
They'll begin at the 48. Here comes Cologne. Cologne, first down and more. Dragged down, and a flag comes in for the horse collar tackle. Big first play for North Allegheny, so it'll be a first down and then some for the Tigers.
Loss contained on the outside. 27 yards later, Precise Cologne yanked down. Tyler King almost got him from behind by the ankles, and as soon as he didn't get him, that was big trouble, because on the outside they got a good block, and that cornerback kind of crashed down inside. Cologne saw it all the way and broke that run outside.
Now, you said watch out for Precise Cologne. Here's Bill Heitkamp.
Personal foul. Face mask by the defense. Half the distance penalty. First down.
27 yards and some more after they go to Cologne, his best run of the night.
You see King missed him. Meckler came in a little bit too far to the middle of the field, and then they got burned to the outside. That hasn't happened. We remember that first drive, Ben Mayenza got outside. This time it's Cologne. They tack on the extra yards with the flag, and that is just a breakdown by Pine Richland that's uncharacteristic.
Chance Boyd was the one called for the penalty. And now North Allegheny sets up inside the Beano's red zone. Conroy Foods has been making Beano's original submarine dressing right here in Pittsburgh for 30 years. Find Beano's in your local grocer's deli department. First down. Run here by Gilash. As Gilash pushes this one forward, Chance Boyd is the one that made the play.
That misdirection kind of counter play has been working for most of this second half. Looks like it's going one way, then they hand it off, coming back the other direction. By the time you figure out what's happened, you've jumped to the wrong side of your blocker, and there's a hole there for the running back.
6th run of the game for Gilash. Petchke has run it the most of any NA player, 12 times. 2nd down and 5. Touchdown! And Petchke takes it the rest of the way. An 8-yard score, and the Tigers have scored 13 unanswered.
They fake the outside pitch, and look, comes right in between the center and the guard. Nobody there for Pine Richland until he's already in the end zone.
So Petchke, his head coach, Art Walker, is saying he's not nervous. He's excited for tonight. Takes it the rest of the way. The extra point is good. As Isaac West tacks it on, 14-7 North Allegheny after the big run from Precise Cologne, and the face mask uses that to jumpstart this drive, and they have a 14-7 lead on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the point.
Heads up. Hey, nice catch.
Thanks.
Welcome to W&J. Where are you headed?
I'm trying to find my class.
Acceptance goes beyond a letter. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Snap a SwitchMate over your existing light switches and see how smart your home can be. SwitchMate gets the lights for you so your home stays on schedule and makes sure the lights go out at the right time to match any mood. All you do is snap SwitchMate over your switch and never worry about the kids running late again. Start living smart with SwitchMate Slim, the only wire-free smart light switch.
How will you define success? Jumpstart your career with W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
MEAC matchup tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock on the Sports Fever Television Network. Catch it on 20 to the point as Howard hosts South Carolina State. Game brought to you by Butler County Community College. Learn more about attending the #1 community college in Pennsylvania. Back-to-back rankings by schools.com. Accessible, affordable, quality education. More at bc3.edu. In the last drive, good field position, one big run, one big penalty. Eventually sets North Allegheny up for the score. They have a 14-7 lead. And remember, whoever wins tonight's game takes the conference championship, though both of these teams will be the #1 and #2 seeds in the Whitfield playoffs and will receive byes to the semifinals. From the 7-yard line, Stenson. Good return here. They'll make it to the 25. So if you're Pine Richland trying to forget what just happened with that penalty, what do you need to do to get everything back on track? As you see the Honda Drive summary presented by your local Honda dealers.
Well, I think you remember that you have all seniors across the front line, and they go, I don't know, an average of 270, 275. And you just say, you know what? We're big, we're experienced, we're having trouble catching the ball right now, and we're going to lean on those guys.
Spensler has Meckler in the backfield, and Meckler goes to the right side of that offensive line on first down. But Nico Rankin had him wrangled. And not much there for Meckler.
By number 8, Nico, right there.
Well, they flow to the ball once again, and it's a read option, but when there's not really the threat of that pull it up and pass it, the defense can crash in.
2nd down and 8. Spencer runs for the first down.
Number 4,
he'll make it to the 38-yard line. And some room opened up in that instance for Cole Spencer, who was sacked actually in the last drive, something that doesn't happen all that frequently. Back to Meckler, tries the right side of the line again. Cade Hoke is there to make the tackle after a gain of 2. To reset who's on that right side of the offensive line. Kadick, who's going to Indiana. Kristofic is committed to Notre Dame. And then you also have Michael Durundo. Not sure where he is going, but it will be Division I school.
Interesting stuff about Kristofic. This guy, he's going to Notre Dame. He was a quarterback in youth football, and now in the summer times, he's a youth baseball umpire.
Run forward by Luke Meckler, and Eric Kasperovich jokingly saying, I don't think too many people are arguing with him. Kristofic checks in at 6'6" and 270 pounds. I don't know. I wouldn't argue with
He
him.
brings a little authority, I think, with him to the field when he's wearing the blue.
Huge 3rd down play here for Pine Richland from the 45-yard line.
Now, if they were to throw the ball, look at, this is Day Johnson at the bottom of the screen. His defender is 7 yards off the ball.
Yeah, that's Cologne. They run it with Spencer, and Spencer has enough. He needed 3, ended up getting 4. Pine Richland moves the chains with inside of 9 minutes to go.
And they love those stop routes, but again, can you depend on that? Because at this point, if you're just committed to the run, you can't be giving up plays with no gain.
Augustine and Tipsworth, the one that make the tackle. W&J College 1st down. Here only a gain of 1. The ball comes out. It's scooped up by Hoke. They call him down. He takes it all the way, but the officials say that the runner was down.
Well, they called it right away. You saw somebody come in and point straight to the ground. Well, that's this team, though. I mean, 14 fumbles recovered this year for the defense. These guys are always in there ripping at the ball. Here's another look. Meckler comes up, and that looked like it was coming out.
And remember, do not have the benefit of replay for WPIAL games, even when they decide conference championships. 2nd and 10 now. Spencer's got time on the play clock. The give here to Schweiger. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and around 8. He takes it into positive territory.
Eric Kasperovich has a little bit of a history of pressing the envelope and surprising people. But would he throw the ball here? Because right now, North Allegheny's pinning the ears back. They're coming after the run.
When they've been throwing it this year, it's usually been horizontal. It hasn't been vertical. But will Spencer take a shot? 3rd down and 8. Spencer, they're coming for him, and down he goes. Back at the 45-yard line. And it's Ethan Augustine who has had a big night on defense.
Ball has got to come out faster than that. They have the play action. Augustine right away. As soon as he saw that the quarterback kept it, he was shooting into the backfield. And Spencer just couldn't process quickly enough and get the ball out. North Allegheny has really turned this game around in the second half. They still haven't gotten a whole lot of breaks. They probably should have had a fumble right there. But they've still taken the momentum here in the second half.
Spencer kicking it. And this will roll out of bounds near the 30. I thought you made a really good point when you talked about how Augustine benefiting. Cade Hoke unavailable last year. A lot for him to have a big night right now. North Allegheny, a 14-7 lead on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 The Point.
Live, love, get sauced.
Your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers have the utility vehicle just for you. Starting with the wildly popular CR-V, a perfect people mover. Or a perennial favorite, the versatile Honda Pilot. Right now at your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers, you'll find offers that get you moving in a 2018 CR-V. Or have you making plans to hit the road in a new 2018 Pilot. Your Honda is waiting for you at your Western Pennsylvania Honda dealers.
Tomorrow on Fox 53, a doubleheader of college football, starting with Wisconsin and Northwestern at noon, and Kansas State, Oklahoma at 3:30. Only on your Fox 53. And then some college football on 22 The Point tomorrow. You've got Howard, South Carolina State. Howard's quarterback is actually Cam Newton's little brother. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Guess I'll have to tune in.
North Allegheny has the football after Augustine got the stop, and now a W&J College first down. This is Ben Mayenza. Mayenza breaking free. Mayenza gone. Touchdown, Tigers. 69 yards.
They have been running this type of play the entire second half. They fake the pitch. They give the inside give. It hasn't gone to Mayenza. It's been going to Sam Gilosh. They give it to a guy with the better wheels, and Ben Mayenza, and 69 yards later into the end zone. That is a nice play call by the offense.
So his second run today of 60 or more yards. The extra point is no good. And this isn't not going to go anywhere, as it was picked up on the deflection by Petschke, but no such luck. So the extra point no good, but the big run by Ben Mayenza has the Tigers ahead 20-7 on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 The Point.
Hi, I'm Todd Titsworth with Health Markets Insurance Agency here in Pittsburgh. The healthcare insurance market, yeah, it can be confusing. And if you're an individual or small business owner, I can make it easier for you to understand. I'll consult with you, construct a plan that best fits your needs as well as your budget. Health Markets represents over 200 carriers nationwide, so the right plan for you may only be a phone call away. I can be reached online or by phone today. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and have a nice day.
For over 25 years, IGS Energy has been empowering consumers to make energy choices that fit their needs. From natural gas to electricity to home services products, the IGS family of companies has been providing innovative solutions to consumers through predictable rates and unparalleled customer service. We are also committed to making an impact in the areas where we live and work. We are IGS Energy, delivering innovative solutions to power your world.
69-yard touchdown scamper by Ben Mayenza. He had a 60-yard run right out of the gate. And while the first time he ran for 60 yards, it didn't lead to a score, this one does. And North Allegheny looking for their first win over Pine Richland since 2016. And also trying to wrap up a conference championship and a #1 seed in the WPL playoffs, which will be getting underway next week.
Just amazing what they've built here at North Allegheny. I mean, you look back, they won the state a couple times in the 2010, 11, 12 range there. And now you've got a touched kickoff, and they'll call that a touchback. But you've got a program. Yes, it's one of the biggest schools enrollment-wise in the area. But you got to remember, it is very difficult to win consistently at the 6A or the Quad A level, whatever it happened to be over the years. They've done it every year since Art Walker came here to North Allegheny. They have made the playoffs, and almost all those years they've won a playoff game. So to build that kind of a program says a lot about the kids and the talent that he's got here, but it also says a lot about the way he's able to teach and get guys to buy in and play his style of football.
Art Walker approaching 200 wins in his career. Of course, his dad, Art Walker Sr., won 6 Whippeal titles during a 26-year career. 5 Whippeal titles at Mount Lebanon, 1 at Shadyside Academy. Lots of trouble for Spencer. Will have to take off on WJ College, first down, and flag comes in very late after this play was over. It was already a sack. Bill Heidkamp will have to sort this out.
I'll see if it was a late hit on the sack or whether it was a late hit in frustration by Pine Richland.
After the play, personal foul by the defense. 15-yard penalty results in a first down.
And right as you're trying to salt this game away, last thing you wanted is a 15-yard penalty that gives Pine Richland a fresh set of downs.
Well, again, it's just holding on to the ball too long. This is an offense that's predicated on getting the ball out quickly. They just haven't been able to do that, whether that's just a little bit slow on processing or whether guys just aren't open.
Walker Connolly was the one that was called for it, almost picked off by Nico Rankin. Rankin, grandson of former North Allegheny coach Jim Rankin. It was the NA headman for 18 seasons prior to Art Walker Jr., and he almost had a pick.
Well, that would have pretty much ended this game, and that's right into his hands. So this is one of those, we are not used to seeing Pine Richland unable to move the ball offensively. But I think that's a testament to what North Allegheny's done. It's also maybe a little assist to the weather, but look, the weather's here for both sides.
Pine Richland averaging 38 points a game, and the Tigers will call the timeout with 6:26 left. They were shut out that first week against IMG Academy, but since that time, you're looking at pretty much 38 points or more a game, with the exception of last week against Seneca Valley when Pine Richland managed just 21 in the win. Now let's take a look at the defensive play of tonight's game, and it's courtesy of nice play by Luke Meckler, eventually knocking and out of bounds. It's a big first run by Manza, went for 60 yards, but touchdown saving play. And was able to get things done, and eventually field goal was missed by Isaac West. Health Market defensive play of the game. Thank you to Todd Titsworth from Health Market, the smarter way to shop for health insurance.
Yeah, not often that a 60-yard run turns out to be a defensive play of the game, but it did. I mean, you kept them out of the end zone, and then even with first and goal at the 5, they miss a field goal, and you come away with a stop. And that sort of set the tone for that first half, where Pine Richland came in with a lead.
Second down and 10. Incomplete. Well, it probably should have been caught by Eli Yoakum. Nobody has been able to make catches tonight. Third down on the way.
It's a 3rd and long.
It's funny that before the year, they may have thought that, well, North Allegheny's going to have a great defense. So while they figure out what they've got offensively, their defense is going to hold teams to no points and they'll be fine. Well, they come out in the first game, score 45 points. Next week they score 56. So I don't know if it's ever really been in doubt offensively. It's just a matter of tonight. Seems like weather.
Bad snap for Spencer, incomplete. Intended for Luke Miller. The hit was made by Precise Cologne. Fourth down. That was a good throw. Should have been caught by Miller, who they have targeted frequently tonight. 6:16 left. Pine Richland all of their timeouts, and they'll punt.
Again, it's strange to see a team for Pine Richland in the last 5-6 years that has struggled to move the ball through the air. It just hasn't been a thing. But this team has been able to run the ball well enough this year to get away with it. Well, tonight they ran into a tremendous opponent in North Allegheny.
Low kick, and it will take a North Allegheny roll to the 36-yard line. 6:05 left to play in this game. Well, there are a lot of plays to choose from, but tonight's Dunkin' Donuts play of the game pretty much has to be this. Ben Mayenza cashing it in from 69 yards out. One of two 60-plus yard runs that he had in this game. High school football runs on Dunkin'.
The play call that was working the entire second half. They'd been giving it to the fullback. Well, finally they give it to that guy, Ben Mayenza, whose speed is no question. And he runs it in for that long touchdown run that may end up being the thing that puts the game away.
Mayenza with the call here on W&J College first down. And he is slung down. Looked like he gave a yard back on this first down carry. Be a president at Washington and Jefferson College. Washington and Jefferson College. Learn more at washjeff.edu.
Well, 3 timeouts here. You need 2 scores. This is one where you got to be able to manage those. But again, when you're struggling to move the ball through the air, you need to keep some for offense, you would think.
You need to try and get a 3 and out. Defense has made a couple of mistakes in the second half. The run by Cologne and the run by Mayenza. On 2nd and 11.
Number 8,
Nico Rankin hasn't run the ball a ton. He is the one that gets the call. And a 3rd and long on the way.
Here you go. You wonder if they get a stop here. Do you then stop the clock, get it back on the punt?
North Allegheny and Pine Richland, both teams perfect in Quad County Conference play entering tonight as this clash the conference title. And both teams will be in the WPO playoffs, and they'll be the 1 and 2 seeds. Cologne motions into the backfield. Petschke keeps it this time. And a good job by Pine Richland to deny Petschke the first down. It looked like Tyler King was the one on the tackle. And Pine Richland, to try and preserve a little bit of clock, is the one that makes the play. King's such a big part of the defense. Leading tackler coming in, 2nd on the team in tackles for loss. He's been a starting linebacker since his freshman season with the Rams. And he's playing for the Midshipmen next year at Navy. Now, football coming up next Thursday night. The Raiders and the 49ers on Fox 53. Thursday night at 8 o'clock next week on Fox 53. You like what John Gruden has done in his return to the NFL? I won't make you answer that.
It's been a rough year by the Bay for both those teams.
Yes,
you lose Garoppolo, you lose Jerick McKinnon, and then all of a sudden it's a fire sale for the Raiders. It has not been a good year out in Northern California.
But you can still watch next Thursday at 8. Pine Richland calls the timeout. 4:29 left to go. Tigers have scored 20 unanswered points. And we'll see if Isaac West can provide some length. Fair catch called for by Meckler. And Pine Richland will start at the 25-yard line. with 4:22 remaining in this game. It's probably not what you expected from the Rams. More drops than we have probably ever seen from them. And while the elements have been challenging, players going between gloves and no gloves, at some point, I think Eric Kasperovich would tell you this, you have to be able to make a play, and Pine Richland simply has not been able to do that on offense tonight.
Yeah, North Allegheny's been good enough up front and running the football that they haven't had to worry about throwing the ball very much. But give credit to North Allegheny's front defensively. I mean, they have been able to keep a lid on Luke Meckler for the most part tonight, forcing them to the air where they're not as comfortable as they are most years.
W&J College first down, dropped by Yoakum. He had it on his hands. It was a little bit of a high pass. They tried to set up the screen on the perimeter. You've got to find a way to add some chunk plays. Down by 13 points with 4 minutes left. You have 2 timeouts remaining if you're the Rams. Backs against the wall. Low snap. Spencer going backwards and taken down. Cade Hoke is there on the sack. Spencer had to try and cover it up, but by the time he had control of the football, it was Hoke breathing down his neck.
Well, look who it is. Hoke comes in on Meckler and just puts him right into Spencer's lap, and Meckler's hurt. He is down now on the field. It looked like it was his arm. I'm not sure what it is, but, I mean, for Cade Hoke, how much were you looking forward to this season and this game in particular? If you were able to take care of business the first 9 weeks of the season, you knew you'd be playing for a conference championship against this Pine Richland team. And so when you're sitting there and you're not feeling real good in that ACL rehab, I think this is sort of the game that you think about as to why am I putting in all this work? Why am I here in the weight room trying to get my range of motion back and my strength back? That's why right there he was able to crash right in and make a game-changing sack.
Now there were a lot of choices again. Play of the game and player of the game. But in the end, it goes to Ben Mayenza for 130 yards on the ground, and it came off 2 plays.
Well, this is the big one. He went for 60 yards in the first half, but 69 yards to the house in a game or in a play that put them up by 2 scores. And the high five at the tail end of it. Got to be a nice feeling for Ben Mayenza, younger brother of Ethan Mayenza, to have a run like that in a situation like that against an opponent like this.
Remax Select Realty, simply better. Mayenza, great dual threat quarterback who preceded Luke Truman. And Petchke's done a good job managing the offense tonight, and a lot of runs by North Allegheny. Pine Richland has kept it on the ground when they can, but now having to go to the air. Luke Meckler was the one that was down on the field. And now a 3rd down and 21 coming up for the Rams. Clock running, 3:43 to go. Spencer being chased. He throws. It's a wobbler, and it's incomplete. Cafardi was the intended receiver. That would have gotten Pine Richland back to the line of scrimmage. But instead, you have 4th down. 3:33 left. 2 timeouts. Do the math. Punting time for PR. Just so far back inside of your own territory. So Joey Porter Jr., he'll actually be stationed at the 35-yard line. Waits this punt from Spencer. It's off the side of his foot. A huge break again for the Tigers. We'll have to see where they mark this. And it will be marked inside the 25-yard line.
Last year, Pine Richland beat NA twice. In the regular season, they ran for 639 yards. The second time around, they went to the air. Phil Jerkovic threw for 432 yards. Tonight, North Allegheny's defense has just been swarming to the football. And, again, it just has not been a night to throw the ball for anybody. But you have to find a way.
Tomorrow night, the World Series on Fox. Red Sox and Dodgers, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. You can catch all the action on Fox 53. Series shifting to Los Angeles tonight with the Red Sox winning the first 2 games. W&J College first down. Petschke brought down on this play by Cade Schweiger. Clock continues to run. 3:10 left. Pine Richland, how much longer do you wait to start using the timeouts?
I think you have to get a stop here. They might try and play it the same way they did that previous drive where you get to a 3rd down stop and then you call it, but you don't have many options right now.
NA attempting to complete a perfect regular season after Pine Richland was able to do the same thing here last year. Up the middle. Gilash down to the 6-yard line. Big run, and now a first down and goal for the Tigers.
Well, this is another one of those inside runs. First guy misses him, and then it's off to the races. And when you're as big as Gilash is, you can do some damage in the secondary.
First down and goal for NA.
Boy, he runs hard, doesn't he? He's a fullback. He's not a huge guy. I mean, 5'8", 170 is how he's listed, but he gets ahead of steam. Look out.
He kind of plays bigger than his listed size for sure. Trying to close it out. Mayenza, ball comes free, but they say he's down. Colella was the one that popped on it, but mark him down. 2nd and goal coming up. And it'll be from the 3-yard line. Touchdown for North Allegheny would definitely put it away, but they've pretty much done that. No particular hurry. And the Tigers win the Quad County Conference, be the #1 seed in the WPIAL playoffs. And it's very possible you could be seeing this matchup all over again. Up the middle, Mayenza.
And Mayenza again, the ball.
Mayenza forward for a yard.
Brought down by number 56.
These two teams, Jordan said it earlier, on a collision course. You go to the final week, 2 rivals meeting up at North Allegheny tonight. Pine Richland had a 7-0 lead at halftime. North Allegheny has scored the last 20. Pine Richland has been unable to move the football. And now a minute away from a perfect regular season and a #1 seed. And a conference title. They'll run it forward. Touchdown. There's your dagger. It's taken in by Petschke, who finishes off the drive.
Well, you see the steam when he yells the signals for this play. It's been that kind of a night. Cold, rainy. He gets a push from a guy named Pancho into the end zone for the last touchdown of the night. How about that?
Alonso Pancho Cantu. Extra point. West adds it on. The North Allegheny additional. They'll pick up their first win over their rival 2016 47-10 win by the Tigers that year. And tonight, 27-7 lead by NA. The defense has come to play for the crowd that has stuck around through the rain. On the North Allegheny side, they are savoring this one tonight.
Yeah, this one's got to feel good. I mean, for a program like this, it's been a few years since they've won a section. It was Pine Richland last year. It was Central Catholic the year before that. And so they've sort of rotated it through to those three powerhouses at 6A. Boy, what a year for North Allegheny. They come through with a big win on their way to one tonight.
Down to Jordan.
Yeah, you look back at the turning point in this one. That long drive in the third quarter really kind of invigorated the North Allegheny sideline. They kind of took the momentum from there. You kind of think back and the rise of the Pine Richland program last year, of course, beating NA twice in the regular season, then in the WPIAL playoffs. That kind of put the momentum on the other side. Tonight, the Tigers certainly have taken it back, but as both coaches talked about, of course, they anticipate another meeting in a few weeks for the WPIAL title. We certainly saw and learned a lot about these two, where they are right now in tonight's game. Back up to you.
And for Eric Kasperovich and his team, it'll be back to the drawing board, but there's still, don't get me wrong, a lot of players that will learn from this game for Pine Richland, and hopefully for them able to move forward in the WPIAL playoffs. Run here by Dylan Stinson, and he's out past the 35-yard line. The Rams, this will be their first loss since the first week of the season, when they lost to IMG Academy, a nationally renowned program. It's a Honda Drive summary brought to you by your local Honda dealers. 5 plays, 23 yards in 2 minutes and 47 seconds. A game that helped prepare a younger and an offense that didn't quite have the pieces that they'd lost from a season ago. Tonight, I think you'll learn that you have to play through the elements. You have to find a way to make plays even when things aren't going right. And if you're Cole Spencer, you also have to get the ball out a little bit quicker. And once again, it's Cade Hoke that is right there. Take a bow.
Yeah, he's having a good time now. I mean, this has been his kind of night in the second half. Just pinning the ears back and applying pressure, and it's got to feel good. Again, he loses an entire season. You only get 4 of them in high school. He lost one of them last year to the knee injury, and he is back with a vengeance this year, and so is North Allegheny. What a night for Art Walker Jr. You know that he's got a dad that was a heck of a head coach, and what a name he has made for himself here at North Allegheny especially.
The Tigers are conference champions as they take down Pine Richland by a 27-7 final tonight at Newman Stadium. We'll be back with more in just a moment on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 22 The Point. Have to get the ball out a little bit quicker, and once again, it's Cade Hoke that is right there. Take a bow.
It's my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian.
See what you can accomplish at W&J. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Why are we at GetGo?
This is GetGo Cafe and Market. We're here for lunch.
Oh, you wanted something fresh.
You gotta get to know GetGo. They're making amazing food fresh to order. Their chef's recipes are one of a kind. They've got real fruit smoothies, antibiotic-free chicken.
He has tots on his sub. I can have tots on my sub?
You can customize anything.
You told me this was good, but this food speaks for itself.
You didn't believe me?
Tots?
GetGo Cafe and Market. Better. Believe it.
Snap a switch mate over your existing light switches and see how smart your home can be. SwitchMate gets the lights for you so your home stays on schedule and make sure the lights go out at the right time to match any mood. All you do is snap SwitchMate over your switch and never worry about the kids running late again. Start living smart with SwitchMate Slim, the only wire-free smart light switch.
Heads up. Hey, nice catch.
Thanks.
Welcome to W&J. Where are you headed?
I'm trying to find my class.
Acceptance goes beyond the letter. Learn more about what it means to be a president at washjeff.edu.
Pittsburgh, don't miss your chance to catch the best pro wrestling on the planet when Ring of Honor invades Stage AE. Saturday, November 3rd, for a huge international television taping. See such stars as Jay Lethal, Bullet Club's Cody and the Young Bucks, the Briscoes, the stars of Women of Honor, and many more. Experience the hard-hitting, high-flying, in-your-face pro wrestling action live. Visit ROHWrestling.com or the ROH app now for tickets and info.
27-7, North Allegheny winners over Pine Richland tonight. And down with the victorious Tigers and Jordan Canigliaro.
What a finish. You finish it out, the regular season unbeaten, the conference title. You beat Pine Richland. What does this one mean?
It's just an unbelievable effort by our kids and by the coaching staff, from January to now, and a long season where guys are putting in a ton of hours, and the kids are dedicated and just believe in one another. So it's very rewarding for them. I'm excited for everybody in our district and our community.
When you know you likely will see him again down the road in the playoffs, what do you take from this one?
Well, both teams know it. I think there's a lot of respect for each other. I think we got a good feeling that there's a great chance that we could see each other again. And we know that that's a possibility. We got to look at the film, and obviously there's some things we did well, and there's some things we need to fix. There's some things we'll change, and they'll do the same. So I'm sure you'll see a lot of the same things and some things different, because I think both staffs work hard. But, I just have to take my hat off to my players and to our coaches. When you have a bunch of coaches that are so dedicated, and when you have coordinators that are just obsessed with figuring stuff out and tireless workers, that makes my job easy, and I appreciate those guys, and I want everybody that plays for them to appreciate them as well.
Certainly been a journey, Coach. So you finish off perfect regular season, a conference title. Time for one more thing, the trophy presentation here on Friday Night Rivals. Celebrate at North Allegheny. You win this Week 9 matchup.
Thank you.
North Allegheny takes it 27-7 tonight. Jeff Arnold and Dan Watson with you, and about as complete of a defensive game as you can imagine from the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, and it just turned out that Pine Richland turned out to be a little one-dimensional. And again, both teams were because of the weather factor. It was cold, it's rainy, it's tough to catch the football. Saw a bunch of receivers' gloves get thrown on the turf tonight, but again, North Allegheny up front I think was tremendous. Now, you look toward round 2. I don't know if there's a coaching staff in Western Pennsylvania that you like better than that one over there for Pine Richland to make the necessary adjustments and get it turned back around. I expect a pretty good matchup if they both get to that WPIAL championship game at Heinz Field.
And of course, Pine Richland, the defending WPIAL and PIAA state champions. I'll look at some of your final statistics tonight. No surprise, a lot of the offense was on the ground because of the weather, but 348 yards, and included a couple of big runs by one man.
Ethan Mayenza, 9 carries, 141 yards. You do the division, it's almost 16 yards per carry. A couple of them over 60 yards. He was outstanding, and boy, hats off to that front 5 for North Allegheny on offense, and the front 3 or 4, whatever they happen to be running. Defensively, I thought they were outstanding tonight.
Well, they take it 27-7. We'd all like to take a moment to thank both schools, North Allegheny and Pine Richland. Also like to thank C. Harper Auto Group and IGS Energy, who made this game possible for our viewers at home. Plus, we'd like to thank our other great supporters for tonight's telecast. Butler County Tourism and Convention Bureau, your local Honda dealer, Washington and Jefferson College. Todd Titsworth from Health Markets, Dunkin' Donuts, Beano's Original Deli Condiments, Keller Williams Realty, Remax Select Realty, Tootie's Famous Italian Beef, and Absolute Equipment. We would also like to thank some of our crew that works behind the scenes each week. Bree Harsony, Caitlin Brinzer on Chiron, Josh Charquinio and Jerry Shadd on replay, Mike Seachman, Kevin Booth, and Roy Porterfield handling the audio duties. Engineers Bob Felmley and Dave Dumas, as well as Pat Smith and Roy Humphrey. Our Red Hats, Kerry Check, Ian Hatfield, and Kyle Freilich. The satellite operator is Dave Mitchell, and our stats guru with us in the booth is Stephen Jeffries. Some of this crew's been here for all 4 years, and they bring their best each week. So thank you to all of them, and thank you to all of you for joining us each week on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy. Tonight, North Allegheny with a win. They take a conference title, defeating their rival, Pine Richland. For our terrific crew in the truck, and for Jordan Canigliaro and Dan Watson, I'm Jeff Arnold saying thanks for watching North Allegheny over Pine Richland in our final game of the year on C. Harper Friday Night Rivals, powered by IGS Energy on 20 to the Point. We'll talk to you down the road.
Bay Area bragging rights are at stake when the Raiders take on the 49ers.
Thursday on Fox 53. This program is brought to you locally by PNC. Make today the day.
Bacon, egg, cheese. Only one way to make this better. Another one. Dunkin' Go-Tos. Get 2 bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches for $5. America runs on Dunkin'.
Absolute Equipment, providing rental, sales, parts, and service of quality equipment since 1959. We have everything you'll need, from pressure washers and lawn and garden equipment to lifts and heavy-duty generators. We even have light towers and heaters, so your project stays on schedule. Delivery and pickup of equipment available, too. We'll go the extra mile to make sure you're taken care of. And we even have equipment sales specialists available for on-site solutions. Absolute Equipment. Call us or visit our website.
Roxanne can, and so can you. If you're a high school senior looking for a career, then consider one with unlimited earning potential. Roxanne Agostinelli at Keller Williams can help you unlock your potential through a targeted training program with one of the leading real estate firms in the nation, Keller Williams. All you need to do is get in touch, and Roxanne and her training team will do the rest. Go online right now to roxannecan.com/kickoff and get ready to kick off your career in real estate and score big.
Get the most out of your adventures in a Toyota SUV built with stylish durability and reliable tech features. Get to your Toyota dealer now during Toyota's big event. Are you in? Lease a Highlander now for only $289 a month, or buy one with $1,750 cash back, or pick a Sienna with $3,000 cash back. Toyota's big event is on now. Toyota, let's go places.
When it comes to the truth, there's the easy way, and then there's my way.
Steve Wilkos, Monday at 5 on 22 The Point. We now join this program already in progress.
Myrtle, only 2 books? Good news is you won't remember any of this tomorrow. I thought you'd do it.
Gloria, guess what? Cheryl slept with your husband. Hey, old girl, I'm just lying. Rodney did. Yeah, ain't that right, Rodney? Never stop, can't give up until you reach the top. Well, Ruby. We've both bid at 7, but only one of us is walking away with the means to purchase a crop top denim vest. You can't wear a crop top denim vest, Doris. Who gonna stop me? Well, I guess I'm gonna see you in that crop top denim vest in hell! Nothing's gonna ever keep you down, you're the best. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down, you're the best.
Thank you very much. Well, just got off the phone with the lawyer. Fortunately for you, they're not going to press charges, but there are some stipulations. You're not allowed near that mall.
What?
Or any Girl Story franchise, or within 500 feet of someone named Patrice.
Patrice. I set her on fire.
What?
She doesn't have benefits.
Well, I put the entire cast of Captain Phillips in a shipping commercial. Did not go over too well. Oh, why did you encourage me to make change in the world?
Why didn't you stop me from making change in the world, Dre? You saw my signs.
You know what? We are no good when we're on the same page. One of us needs to be clipping the other's wings.
Dre, when you walk into that store, the messages are so clear. There's something better. We're not as good. I just really didn't want Diane internalizing that message.
Yeah. I also did what I did for Diane.
Sometimes it feels like no matter how much progress we make, it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Why bother?
Hey, you show me one revolutionary who gave up their fight because of one minor setback.
You're right.
Hey, come here.
Oh, man.
Until the world catches up, we're just going to have to keep reinforcing the messages that we want our kids to hear at home.
Yeah.
But not you. You're not a good role model.
God.
You set a lady on fire, bro.
I didn't mean to.
Every day, they protect their city and their family.
We'll always have each other's back.
Always.
Let's go to work. Now, 5 days a week.
Hey, it's okay. You're safe now.
These are their stories. Police standing next to you are your family. And to me, there's nothing more important.
Weeknights at 11 on 22 The Point.
Join us this Sunday for Issues on the Point. We'll sit down with a University of Pittsburgh political science professor looking at the upcoming midterm elections. That's Sunday morning at 6:30 here on 22 The Point.
Last stop, the funniest place on TV. 22 The Point's late night comedy.
Erica, I am your mother. Give me your discount.
Look what I found in the garage. Your old baseball.
It's your last stop for laughs. Weeknights starting at 10 on 22 The Point.
Hey, sweetie. Hi. So, I wanted to talk to you about how I acted today.
Yeah, that was so cool. I never seen fire spread so fast.
I used an accelerant.
Whoa.
No, that is not the point. That's not the point. Here. Come here, sweetie. I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't set a very good example today. And, you know, I want you to know that just because that doll store thinks that we're only one thing, that doesn't mean that's all we are.
Mom, I don't need some doll to tell me that. I have you. And you're a doctor. And you're constantly reminding us of that.
I am constantly reminding you of that, Diane, because I want you to know that you can be anything you want to be. So, in that spirit, here.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. Nunchucks? Thank you. Oh, and don't worry, Mom. It is my solemn promise that I will never use these on you.
Or anyone in the house. No, I'm serious.
Thank you very much.
Mom! Shh, Daddy's working.
In Miami, the cops are tough, and the nightlife is killer.
CSI Miami. Tonight on 22 The Point. This program is brought to you by C. Harper Auto Group. The best price every time, all the time.
A trusted chiropractor charged what 2 patients accused him of doing inside his office.
Problem poles in a busy neighborhood.
It took up a lot of space.
City leaders tell 11 investigates why the poles were installed.
And Channel 11 is learning more about the man investigators say mailed pipe bombs to critics of President Trump.
Storm tracker Doppler 11 radar tracking a lot of rain tonight, and the wet weather will be sticking around for the weekend. Good evening. I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Lisa Sylvester. The rain could have an impact on weekend plans. And Pittsburgh's chief meteorologist Stephen Cropper is tracking when the steadiest rain will be falling. Stephen?
Yeah, Lisa, headed into another damp, cool weekend. We've had a couple of waves of showers tonight. Hasn't been too heavy, but I have over the last half hour or so been watching an area in Greensburg while lighter showers, even drizzle, are falling around the Pittsburgh area. Just off to the east, you can see the yellows, and with the legend here in the top left, you can see that's some steadier rainfall as the rain begins to pick up. That's kind of the deal for the weekend. We'll have these waves of showers from time to time. Right now, it appears as though the wettest part of your Saturday will be early. After lunch, we'll start to see a few breaks from Pittsburgh southward, and I'm finishing up the maps now, and I'll be able to show you hour by hour when you might be able to get outdoors without the umbrella.
Breaking right now, police say they know who this bank robbery suspect is tonight. Police say he is Daryl Devlin, and he is believed to be armed and dangerous. Officials say he robbed the Farmers National Bank along East Carson Street on the south side over the weekend. And new at 10, 11 Investigates is getting answers from the city of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for the last month, Channel 11 has been looking into poles that were recently installed on the south side. Channel 11's Michelle Newell is live at the south side after learning what the city added them, why the city added them to the streets there.
Gordon, they installed these, they say, to keep drivers and pedestrians safe. But when we were here about a month ago, when these were installed, they were all white. Since then, you can see drivers have banged them up pretty bad.
The purpose of these white poles on the south side seem to be a mystery to so many residents.
Don't really know what they do.
I guess they're spacing for parking.
11 Investigates began looking into this more than 1 month ago. The poles were installed in August along the corners of South 18th and Mary Streets. We spoke to the owner of this dog grooming business. She told us the poles were causing all kinds of problems. And she gave us this video of 2 school buses nearly hitting each other because of the poles. Other residents told us they also noticed the poles causing issues.
We are now 21 days in, and I have not received one phone call from anyone in the city.
Fast forward to now. 11 Investigates is finally getting some answers from the city. City officials sent us a lengthy email explaining why the poles are here. They told us in part vehicles were parking too close to the intersection along the south approach of 18th Street toward Mary. They said drivers were speeding and illegally parking. They went on to say while parking and stopping in that site triangle is and was illegal, this was often ignored, causing the endangerment.
I think people still do speed, even regardless of these.
Now, I spoke to a man who lives on this street. He says he has definitely noticed an improvement since these poles were installed. He said he hasn't seen as many crashes. I also talked to the business owner across the street, the pet groomer, and let her know what the city said and what their explanation was. She told me she now has an attorney and she's going to continue fighting this. Reporting live from the South Side, I'm Michelle Newell for Channel 11 News on Fox 53.
Tonight, Baldwin police need your help finding a teenager who disappeared. Take a look at your screen. This is 15-year-old Azariah Greer. Police say that she could be in danger. Anyone with information is asked to call police.
A father is facing charges tonight after police found him hiding out in an attic during an underage drinking party. Police were called to Ludwig Street in Greensburg early on Sunday morning. According to the criminal complaint, officers found at least 7 teenagers drinking in the home. Officers found Jeremy Roth hiding in the attic. Roth told police that he was watching the LA Dodgers game and wasn't paying attention to the party downstairs. He now faces several charges, including corruption of minors and disorderly conduct, and Roth will be in court next month.
Now to a story you saw first on 11. A Westmoreland County chiropractor accused of sexually harassing women. Moses Javicki runs Virtus Institute in Greensburg. In one case, he's accused of falling on top of a woman and kissing her neck. Channel 11's Melanie Marcelco got a copy of the criminal complaint and talked to the suspect's attorney about the case.
Well, this is a popular gym here in Greensburg. Both of these women told police that they exercised there, and they asked for an adjustment one day, and they both came walking out with allegations they say were unwanted and inappropriate. A well-known gym owner and local chiropractor was accused of harassing and inappropriately touching 2 women inside his business. Moses Javicki runs Virtus Institute in Greensburg. This picture is from his business's website, which says he is a licensed chiropractor. As Channel 11 first broke the news today, he's charged with indecent assault after police say 2 women came forward making accusations of what he did inside the chiropractic room of the building. One victim told detectives she was positioned face up while laying down on the adjustment table when Moses Javicki began kissing her ear and neck. She told police he grabbed and squeezed her butt with both hands. The victim stated after the first assault, Javicki then fell on top of her in the exam room and once again kissed her on the neck. Later on that day, Javicki allegedly told her through a text message that he was sorry he's too flirty and some personalities don't go with his. Meanwhile, the second woman who came forward accusing him of harassment said she was positioned face down on the adjustment table when Javicki pulled and snapped her bra strap and said to her, "It must be hard for your boyfriend to get this off." She told police she was frightened and very upset by his behavior. Police described Javicki's actions as a routine course of conduct that he does while training and seeing women patients that work out at Virtus Institute and are adjusted at his chiropractic office. I spoke to Javicki in person today. He referred me to his attorney. His attorney told me he has irrefutable evidence that proves that he is not guilty. In the meantime, though, Westmoreland County detectives asked that if you have any information, give their office a call. Reporting in Greensburg, I'm Melanie Marcelco for Channel 11 News on Fox 53.
The latest tonight on a middle school teacher accused of inappropriately touching 4 underage girls. Robert Willison is a math teacher at Slippery Rock Middle School. He's charged with touching 4 teens. Channel 11 has learned that Willison was suspended twice before for inappropriately touching another teacher.
There have been incidents in the past with Mr. Willison regarding adults and also some issues with children. Those incidents were not reported to us back then.
State police tell Channel 11 that no other victims have come forward, but they say the investigation is not over.
We're working to learn more about a crash at a bus stop. This happened along Route 819 in Hemphill Township. Officials tell Channel 11 that bus was dropping kids off when a car slammed into a stopped car, and then one of the cars then hit the driver's side of the bus. We're told none of the kids was hurt, but medics did check out for adults at the scene. And we are getting our first look at the man charged with mailing suspicious packages across the country to critics of President Donald Trump. Take a good look here. Agents escorted Cesar Sayoc Jr. out of the FBI office in Miramar, Florida this afternoon. Investigators used fingerprints that were found on a package sent to Congresswoman Maxine Waters to arrest Sayoc. Reporter Susan McGinnis is in Washington, D.C. with the developments.
56-year-old Cesar Sayoc arrested in Florida, charged with sending mail bombs to top Democrats and critics of President Trump. Authorities say a fingerprint on one of the packages led them to the suspect.
He has been charged today with 5 federal crimes.
As Sayoc was taken into custody, FBI investigators seized his van, covered with pictures of the president, right-wing bumper stickers, and pictures of Democrats with rifle targets over their faces.
He may have been appears to be a partisan, but that would be determined by the facts as the case goes forward.
As investigators look for a motive, more packages were discovered.
These are not hoax devices.
The latest, addressed to Democratic Senators Kamala Harris and Cory Booker, as well as former Intelligence Director James Clapper. They're among a long list of recipients of pipe bomb packages sent from coast to coast. The common thread, frequent critics and targets of President Trump. The president took no responsibility.
No, not at all. No, I mean, not at all. No, there's no blame. There's no anything.
And he played down the obvious, a van covered with Trump stickers.
I did not see my face on the van. I don't know. I heard he was a person that preferred me over others.
With a suspect in custody, investigators now have a mountain of evidence from the packages to the van.
The guy's motive plastered all over his van.
Still unknown whether more bombs are en route.
Authorities say the suspect could face 48 years in prison and that more charges could be filed. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, NBC News.
New information tonight into a bar brawl involving undercover police officers and members of the Pagans Motorcycle Club. Channel 11 has learned Mayor Bill Peduto is defending the officers after the DA expressed concerns over lack of information about the fight. The DA claims it took multiple requests to get all of the video and evidence, but Peduto says they had it within 48 hours of the request.
I don't know why they're in the bar. We haven't heard from a supervisor that they were on duty.
The video shows the undercover officers drinking for nearly 5 hours. The mayor says undercover officers may need to drink to blend in, but right now there is no policy in place on how much is too much.
11 investigates a plan to send big double-stacked trains through the north side. Why that would mean big changes for several key bridges.
A neighbor speaks out after a little boy wandered away from a home police called disgusting. Why she believes his community failed him.
Targeting people who repeatedly drive drunk, the stronger punishments this mother of a DUI victim fought for, and why. Next.
Now available, Monster Mash Smiley Cookies, only $6.99.
Are you a man suffering from decreased sexual desire, fatigue, and depressed moods? These may be symptoms of low testosterone or hypogonadism and may qualify you for a clinical research study enrolling now. Qualified volunteers may receive testosterone replacement therapy or placebo, and you might be eligible for some compensation for participation. Learn more. Call 888-577-5698 or visit healthstudiesforhim.com.
Pittsburgh's best selection of Chevy trucks is at Crivelli Chevrolet in Mount Pleasant. Truck Mountain at Crivelli Chevrolet offers 100 trucks at the lowest prices in Western PA. We're 5 minutes from the new Stanton exit off the Turnpike. Take 119 South to exit PA 31 Mount Pleasant and look for the American flag.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency. Because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,650 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Now's a great time to call J.A. Sauer for special financing with low monthly payments on a new Carrier heating and cooling system.
You don't need to know what torque means, but a test drive will show you how it feels. The Volkswagen Drive to Decide event. Get a Volkswagen with America's best 6 years, 72,000-mile limited warranty. Right now, you can lease a value-packed 2019 Jetta S for just $159 a month or get a $1,000 bonus.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
What if you could lose fat in just a few hours?
I don't know what to say. I'm just in shock.
You can with Sono Bello.
It seems no matter how much you work out or diet, there are parts of your body that just don't seem to change.
I went to the gym, I worked out at home, I bought videos. No matter what I did, that bulge was still there.
With its advanced micro-laser technology,
Sono Bello gently removes that targeted fat and shapes your body for life-changing results.
With over 100 board-certified plastic surgeons, Sono Bello is the largest and most experienced group practice in the U.S.
Seeing ain't believing. I don't know what is.
After 5 years trying to get rid of that roll of fat, Sono Bello did it in one day.
Call for your free no-obligation consultation today and get $250 off your Sono Bello body.
Payment plans are available.
Call 877-797-4273 or go to sonobello.com.
Pittsburgh's best selection of Chevy trucks is at Cordelli Chevrolet in Mount Pleasant. Truck Mountain at Cordelli Chevrolet offers 100 trucks at the lowest prices in Western PA. We're 5 minutes from the new Stanton exit off the Turnpike. Take 119 South exit PA 31 Mount Pleasant and look for the American flag.
Severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Boy, another wet weekend unfolding, and it's already kicked off with some showers, some lighter drizzle in the lighter colors, but across the Westmoreland County down to Fayette County areas, we're getting some steadier rain coming through. Pittsburgh over to Ross getting some lighter showers. That area right around Greensburg actually is drifted northward, so it's